Chapter 370. At the same time, the system's voice resounded frowny-faced ding. Congratulations, host. Obtain template. Eight-winged, three-headed python. Note, the eight-winged, three-headed python is a variant of the six-winged, three-headed python. Its divine ability is the same as the six-winged, three-headed python. Its body length can reach up to 300 meters. Ding! Host has obtained a new template. Do you wish to replace it? After hearing the system's voice, Wang Mang was stunned for a long time and felt somewhat helpless. He did not expect to obtain an eight-winged, three-headed python template. This template was actually an enhanced version of the current template. Even the divine ability did not change. The only thing that changed was its speed. Thinking about this, Wang Mang was somewhat speechless. Forget it. It's better than not having a template. It seemed that the random lottery really couldn't be compared to the designated lottery. Thinking about this, Wang Mang felt relieved. Then, Wang Mang said in his heart, "System, change template." In the next moment, the system's voice resounded frowny-faced ding. Congratulations, host. Change template successful. Ding. Do you wish to recycle the old template? Recycle it, Wang Mang said in his heart. The system's voice resounded again, frowny-faced ding. Congratulations, host. Obtained 5 billion evolution points. After hearing the system's voice, Wang Mang felt a lot better. This old template was still worth some evolution points. Not bad. Thinking about this, Wang Mang's mood became better, and he said again, "System, open the best quality blind box." The reason why Wang Mang chose to open the best quality blind box was because he was worried that he would need more evolution points to evolve twice. He had only accumulated 85 billion evolution points. However, Wang Mang's next evolution would require 43 billion evolution points. The next evolution would definitely require more. Thus, this proved that 85 billion evolution points might not be enough. Thus, the best quality blind box must be opened. Otherwise, it would not be enough for him to evolve twice. In the next moment, the system's voice resounded frowny-faced ding. Congratulations, host. Successfully opened the best quality blind box. Ding. Congratulations, host. Obtained 5 billion evolution points. This is still alright. I hope you won't disappoint me. After hearing the system's first announcement, Wang Mang started to feel uneasy. The 5 billion evolution points reward was neither good nor bad. Therefore, Wang Mang couldn't figure out the quality of this top-grade blind box. Just as Wang Mang was feeling nervous, the system's voice sounded for the second time. Ding. Congratulations, host. Obtained 10 billion evolution points. After hearing the system's voice, Wang Mang couldn't help but laugh. That's right. Not bad at all. In just 2 draws, he had obtained 15 billion evolution points. This proved that the quality of this top-grade blind box should not be too bad. Thinking of this, Wang Mang was in a good mood. This was because he had obtained a lot of evolution points from the 2 lottery draws. His evolution points had reached 100 billion. 2 evolutions were more than enough. Of course, Wang Mang was happy about this. He didn't feel as pressured anymore when the prizes were announced. Thinking of this, Wang Mang was in a good mood. At this time, the system's voice sounded for the 3rd time. Ding. Congratulations, host. Obtained 1 ton of gold. After hearing the system's voice, Wang Mang was stunned. 1 ton of gold? What use would he have for it? If it was a peaceful world, or if there was no chaos, then if this gold was given to Wang Mang before he was reborn, he would be very happy. However, this gold was no different from rocks right now, right? Oh, you can't say it like that. This gold could be used as iron. However, it was useless to Wang Mang. Thinking of this, Wang Mang felt helpless. Could it be that his joy turned to sorrow again? This shouldn't be the case. My current luck value is extremely high. It can't be compared to the past. Thinking of this, Wang Mang was puzzled. However, Wang Mang's mentality was still good. Although he was a bit unhappy, he quickly adjusted his mentality. At this time, the system's voice sounded for the 4th time. Ding. Congratulations, host. Obtained 5 billion evolution points. After hearing the system's 4th announcement, Wang Mang's mood turned from bad to good. He hoped that the next announcement would be better. After all, he only had this rare blind box. If he opened it, it would be gone. Wang Mang prayed anxiously. The system's voice sounded for the 5th time. Ding! Congratulations, host. Obtained 1 box of Wang Leji. F*CK. Wang Leji is here? Drinking Wang Leji because you're afraid of getting heaty? The problem is that it's not about getting heaty. I'm angry now. After hearing the system's 5th announcement, Wang Mang was truly fuming right now. What the hell is this? Wang Mang really wanted to cry, but had no tears. Why don't you give me some evolution points? Sir System, Wang Mang complained helplessly. At this time, the system's voice sounded for the 6th time. Ding! Congratulations, host. Obtained 5 billion evolution points. After hearing the system's voice, Wang Mang finally breathed a sigh of relief. Not bad. The quality of this rare blind box was not bad, although it opened 2 pieces of trash. But overall, it was very good. This was because the blind box had given him 25 billion evolution points. Compared to the rare blind boxes he opened in the past, this was considered good. Thinking of this, Wang Mang was in a good mood. Then, he began to prepare for evolution. He had no choice. He didn't have much time to waste now. Moreover, Wang Mang also realized that since the world was facing the impending disaster, the world was becoming more and more chaotic. Therefore, if he could increase his strength a little, he would increase it a little. After all, his current strength was really not enough. Damn it, he was not afraid in the face of a pseudo-land immortal. But in the face of a land immortal, he was completely unqualified to compete. However, after 2 consecutive evolutions, Wang Mang believed that his strength should be enough to not be afraid of a pseudo-land immortal. Thinking of this, Wang Mang's blood boiled. He said in his heart, System, begin the evolution. The next moment, the system's voice sounded. Ding! 43 billion evolution points have been successfully deducted. Beginning the evolution. Then, Wang Mang lost consciousness in the evolution. 2 hours later, Wang Mang woke up from the evolution. After waking up, Wang Mang did not immediately check the changes in his body. On the contrary, Wang Mang said in his heart again, System, begin the evolution again. The next moment, the system's voice sounded again. Ding! 45 billion evolution points have been successfully deducted. Beginning the evolution. Gentle reminder. After this evolution, personal information and other data will change. Then, Wang Mang lost consciousness in the evolution again. Chapter 371. 2 hours later, Wang Mang slowly woke up from his evolution. After waking up, Wang Mang was surprised to find that his body had changed a lot. The first thing worth mentioning was that his body length had increased by a lot. Other than that, Wang Mang also found that his body had become a little thicker. Also, Wang Mang could feel that his body's strength had increased by a lot. As for how much stronger he had become, Wang Mang did not know. This was something that could only be seen clearly by looking at his personal information. Moreover, Wang Mang also vaguely remembered that the system seemed to have said that his personal information had changed after this evolution. Thinking about this, Wang Mang happily said in his heart, System, open my personal information. In the next moment, his personal information appeared in front of his eyes. Host, Wang Mang identity, 5 mountain god type, 8-winged, 3-headed python cultivation, 8,500 years, demon emperor level, body, 252 meters long, 13 meters wide, 10 million kilograms weight, 10 million kilograms bite force, 150 kilometers per hour. Skills, corrosive poison, steel body, super self-healing, water breathing, bloodthirsty rage, 10,000 beast deterrence, wishful shrinking. Divine ability, king's slavery, soul controlling seal, broken body rebirth, destructive laser, destructive sea of flames, eternal frost, heaven soaring, earth burrowing, wishful bone spur, thunder spell, 1 step in the world, 10,000 changes. Space, probing information, celestial plate, X1, free chance to upgrade divine ability X1, skill fusion card X1, divine ability lottery chance X1, one-time bad luck card, dragon emperor chi plus 500, Shop. Activated luck. 299. Flood of fortune. Evolution points. 22 billion/48 billion current ranking. World's powerhouse ranking. 28th after looking at his personal information. Wang Meng secretly nodded his head in satisfaction. He found that his strength had increased by quite a bit. His personal information page had also changed. For example, his body and battle strength had fused together. From Wang Meng's point of view, there was no problem with such a fusion. His battle strength did not need to be judged by his bite force, nor did it need to be judged by his speed. For example, Wang Meng only had 8,500 years of cultivation. However, Wang Meng wouldn't be afraid even if he were to fight against a pseudo-Earth immortal powerhouse. Thinking of this, Wang Meng couldn't help but feel high-spirited. Now, he was only 500 years away from becoming an Earth immortal. At that time, wouldn't he be able to beat everyone up? After such a long time, he was finally going to step into the top again. It wasn't easy. This journey had been too painful for him. Thinking of this, Wang Meng was filled with emotions as he prepared to set off. His other mission required him to stay in the real world. Therefore, Wang Meng obviously could not stay in this desolate mountain range for too long. After leaving the cave, Wang Meng transformed into his huge body. 8 fleshy wings sprouted from his back, covering the sky. With a flap of its wings, Wang Meng's enormous body soared into the sky. What surprised Wang Meng was that his speed had increased a lot. No, it was simply 1/5 faster than before, and this was under normal speed. In other words, if he used the divine ability one step in the world, his speed could reach 60,000 kilometers per hour. Thinking of this, Wang Meng couldn't help but laugh. This tempo was quite good. At least it increased his speed by another level. Of course, normally, Wang Meng wouldn't use this divine ability. After all, this divine ability was his trump card to save his life. Unless it was a last resort, Wang Meng wouldn't use it easily. But at this moment, Wang Meng didn't know if it was an illusion or not. When he flew over a mountain range, he vaguely saw the dog emperor fleeing in a sorry state. This also made Wang Meng immediately stop at his tracks. At the same time, he transformed into an eagle and swooped down towards the mountain range below. After arriving at this mountain range, Wang Meng indeed saw the dog emperor fleeing in a sorry state. At this moment, the dog emperor was sometimes flying, sometimes running in the mountain range, and sometimes burrowing into the ground. However, behind the dog emperor, there were 2 guys that Wang Meng wasn't familiar with chasing after him. These 2 experts both looked like middle-aged men. Their auras were abnormally tyrannical. Both of them had reached the pseudo-land immortal level. Seeing this scene, Wang Meng's eyes immediately lit up. Could it be that the dog emperor had stolen a lot of good things again? Wang Meng knew. The dog emperor had gone to the netherworld to steal things some time ago. Who knew how many things he had stolen this time? However, from Wang Meng's point of view, the dog emperor had probably gained a lot. Otherwise, there wouldn't be 2 pseudo-land immortals from the netherworld chasing after him. Thinking of this, Wang Meng's thoughts suddenly became active. If the dog emperor managed to steal something good, wouldn't he be able to earn some money as well? Thinking of this, Wang Meng immediately transformed into his original form, flapped his wings, and rushed forward. In just a moment, Wang Meng intercepted the dog emperor and then asked, "Brother dog emperor, where are you going?" Seeing Wang Meng, who appeared in front of him out of thin air, the dog emperor was shocked. After seeing that it was Wang Meng, he said happily, "Brother Wang Meng, quick, help me stop them." After saying that, the dog emperor immediately prepared to continue running. Obviously, he wanted Wang Meng to help him stop the 2 pseudo-land immortals chasing after him. Hearing this, Wang Meng intercepted him again, but this time he smiled brightly and said, "Brother dog emperor, you're not being loyal. I'm just greeting you, and you're asking me to help you stop 2 peak emperor stage powerhouses." Hearing this, the dog emperor was so angry that he cursed, "If you don't help me stop them, why are you stopping me? Let me go." After saying that, the dog emperor saw the 2 peak emperor stage powerhouses behind him, and he was so angry that he almost attacked Wang Meng. Because, in his opinion, Wang Mang was asking the obvious, purposely blocking his path. In addition, knowing Wang Mang's character, he immediately guessed what Wang Mang wanted to do. After all, with Wang Mang's character, how could he take the initiative to help him? Just as Wang Mang was about to speak, the system's voice suddenly sounded. Ding. Detected the host's current situation. The host is given the following mission to choose from. Mission 1. Ignore the dog emperor carrying the treasure. Don't attack. Don't pay attention to him. Mission time. Available upon selection. Mission reward. 2 billion evolution points. Basic blind box X1. Mission 2. Help the dog emperor carrying the treasure. Split the benefits. Take half. Mission time. Available upon completion. Mission reward. 8 billion evolution points. Advanced blind box X1. Mission 3. Help the dog emperor carrying the treasure. Only a child would choose. I want all the benefits. Mission time. Available upon completion. Mission reward. 12 billion evolution points. Best quality blind box. Chapter 372. After listening to these 3 missions, Wang Mang was stunned. He felt that the system knew him too well. She was too considerate. However, the rewards of these 3 missions were not that different. Mission 1 was basically out of the question. How could Wang Mang ignore it? The dog emperor was his good brother. How could he sit back and do nothing? Was he that kind of person? Their relationship could no longer be described by money. Therefore, Mission 1 was out of the question. As for the second mission, Wang Mang was a little hesitant, because the reward for the second mission was still okay. The problem was that from the system's words, the dog emperor should have gotten a lot of good stuff. If he were to split it in half, Wang Mang was a little unwilling. After all, he had already encountered it. Would it be too little to split it in half? Of course. According to Wang Mang's understanding of the dog emperor, if he wanted all the benefits, it would probably be a little difficult. This dog would definitely not give him all the benefits. Even half of the benefits would be difficult. After all, Wang Mang knew how stingy the dog emperor was. Therefore, Wang Mang was now in a dilemma between Mission 2 or Mission 3. If it was Mission 2, their relationship would definitely be better. If it was Mission 3, Wang Mang and the dog emperor's relationship would definitely be broken. This was basically a no-brainer. After all, he had taken all the benefits from the other party's treasures. How could the other party's relationship with him be better? Thinking of this, Wang Mang was in a dilemma for a while before finally making a decision. He decided to accept the third mission first. He wanted to see what good stuff this dog had. If it really didn't work, he could promise the dog emperor some benefits. It shouldn't break their relationship. Thinking of this, Wang Mang made a decision in his heart. System. I choose Mission 3. In the next moment, the system's voice sounded. Ding. Congratulations, host. Successfully chosen mission. Please complete the mission as soon as possible to receive the reward. After hearing the system's voice, Wang Mang secretly sighed in relief. Then, Wang Mang looked at the dog emperor sympathetically. However, when he saw the dog emperor's angry gaze, Wang Mang was stunned. Only now did he notice that the 2 experts of the nether hell that were following closely behind had already caught up. Seeing this scene, Wang Mang also glanced at the 2 fake land immortals. These 2 pseudo-terrestrial immortals from the nether underworld were far weaker than Xiang Yu and Lu Bu's group. Judging from their auras, Wang Mang could tell that these 3 fellows were not weak. However, he was merely not weak. The sense of threat that Wang Mang felt was far weaker than Xiang Yu and the other 2. In the next moment, Wang Mang used information detection. The information of these 2 fellows also appeared before his eyes. Target, 5 elements cultivator. Cultivation experience, 8,890 years level. Peak demon royal. Divine powers. Luck, 244 threat level. Average. Achievement, 26th on the global powerhouse ranking. Target, underworld evil spirit. Cultivation experience, 8,800 years level. Peak demon royal. Divine powers. Luck, 247 threat level. Average. Achievement, 27th on the global powerhouse ranking. After reading the information of these two fellows, Wang Mang was speechless. He was even very puzzled. How could these two fellows be ranked higher than him? Could it be that in the absence of a battle, the ranking was based on cultivation experience? He was only ranked 28th, but these two fellows were ranked higher than him. This was simply nonsense. What the hell? Thinking of this, Wang Mang was very dissatisfied with this ranking. This was a serious underestimation of his strength. In Wang Mang's opinion, his strength should at least be in the top 20. At this time, the five elements cultivator, who was covered in a black robe, had a thin face and hazy eyes, spoke. Fellow Python Emperor, what is the meaning of this? We are here on the orders of the Lord of the 18 levels of hell to arrest this thief. Fellow cultivator, it's better if you don't interfere. Hearing this, Wang Mang was shocked. He did not expect these two fellows to be from the Lord of the 18 levels of hell. Moreover, judging from their tone, this dog dared to steal something from the Lord of the 18 levels of hell. Thinking of this, Wang Mang was also secretly shocked. He had a new understanding of the Dog Emperor's courage. At the same time, Wang Mang inadvertently glanced at the Dog Emperor. After seeing the resentful look in his eyes, Wang Mang chose to ignore it. He looked at the two powerhouses from the nether hell and could not help but feel puzzled. I wonder what this good brother of mine stole from the Lord of Hell? Hearing this, the five elements cultivator and the underworld evil spirit looked troubled, because what the Dog Emperor stole was not something ordinary. It was a half-deity level treasure of heaven and earth. The reason why they did not say it was because they were afraid that Wang Mang would be jealous. If that happened, things would become even more complicated. After all, if Wang Mang's strength was not enough to threaten them, they could still ignore it. However, Wang Mang's strength and aura gave them a very strong sense of threat. It was very serious. Although they were shocked by Wang Mang's increase in strength, they also took Wang Mang's strength very seriously. This was because Wang Mang was no longer the same as he was a few days ago. A few days ago, when a meteorite incident happened, they still did not take Wang Mang seriously. However, now Wang Mang's strength had reached the point where he could threaten their lives. Seeing the two of them hesitating, Wang Mang of course guessed that they did not want to say it. This also made Wang Mang even more certain that the Dog Emperor had stolen a lot of things. Moreover, these things must be good stuff. When he thought of this, Wang Mang immediately became displeased and said with a resolute tone, he said firmly, "You touched my brother. Can I even ask about it now? No matter what my brother did, I will firmly stand on his side. If you want to touch Benoit's brother, you can, over Benoit's corpse." After hearing Wang Mang's words, the two experts from the Netherworld Palace had ugly expressions. From Wang Mang's tone, they were naturally able to tell. If the other party did not understand this matter, it was obvious that he would not back down so easily. Thinking of this, the five elements cultivator and the underworld evil spirit were also very puzzled. They did not expect the Dog Emperor to have such connections. He actually knew Wang Mang. At the same time, the Dog Emperor, who was originally furious at Wang Mang, could not help but feel his eyes turn red. He felt extremely guilty. He originally hated Wang Mang very much. If it was not for Wang Mang intercepting him, how could he have been caught? However, when he heard Wang Mang's words of righteousness, he felt extremely guilty and even more excited and moved. He did not expect Wang Mang to be so righteous. He thought that Wang Mang did not have good intentions. Now that he thought about it, the Dog Emperor felt even more guilty towards Wang Mang. This was a good brother that the Dog Emperor cherished with his life. Chapter 373. He didn't expect Wang Mang to be so righteous. He thought that Wang Mang was up to no good. Now that he thought about it, the Dog Emperor felt even more guilty towards Wang Mang. This was a good brother that he, the Dog Emperor, would cherish with his life. F***CK. I'm not a human at all. Brother Wang Mang treated me so well, but I still resented him. I, the Dog Emperor, am not a human at all. Looking at Wang Mang, who stood in front of him and didn't retreat half a step, the Dog Emperor was moved to tears. If one looked carefully, they would find that the dog emperor actually squeezed out a few drops of dog tears, which was rare. His dog eyes were a little red, and his sneaky dog head couldn't help but twitch. As for the current Wang Mang, he also vaguely noticed that the dog emperor was moved to tears by him. To be honest, seeing that the dog emperor was moved by him, Wang Mang was a little confused. F***CK. This dog can be moved? I only said a few words. She was able to move this shameless bastard? To be honest, Wang Mang felt that it was very unbelievable. This simply subverted Wang Mang's understanding of the dog emperor. Just as Wang Mang was puzzled, the dog emperor behind him suddenly said, "Brother Wang Mang, there's no need. I'll hand over everything." After saying that, the dog emperor looked a little funny with a pained expression. After hearing the dog emperor's words, the eyes of the two nether underworld experts who were in a difficult situation lit up. If the dog emperor was tactful and took the initiative to hand over the treasures he stole from the netherworld, they naturally wouldn't make things difficult for him. After all, Wang Mang's strength was indeed very frightening, especially Wang Mang, whose aura was almost not inferior to the other pseudo-land immortals. Great. Dog Emperor, it's best that you can wake up in time. That's right. Dog Emperor, don't make things difficult for us. We're just following orders. The five elements loose cultivator and the dark underworld evil spirit both smiled and spoke. Hearing this, Wang Mang was stunned. F***CK. This dog emperor actually wants to spit out what he stole? Is this dog emperor's brain? To be honest, the dog emperor's words had already subverted his understanding. Was this still the same shameless dog emperor that he remembered? F***CK. If you don't give it to me, F***CK. If you don't have the treasures, why would I come and help you? At this moment, Wang Mang could not help but break down in his heart. He felt that he had overreached himself. The dog emperor's actions had completely subverted Wang Mang's understanding. It also allowed Wang Mang to see that the dog emperor was indeed moved by him. Thinking of this, Wang Mang felt depressed, as if he had lifted a rock and smashed it on his own feet. In fact, what he wanted to do the most was to fish for benefits and hold the benefits in his hands. As for offending the netherworld, he would let the dog emperor continue to take the blame. But I don't know what the dog emperor is thinking today. Is he really willing to spit out what he took? Did this guy really think that way? Or has this dog already noticed that I have bad intentions? Although Wang Mang had some guesses in his heart, he decided not to let this happen. Therefore, Wang Mang said coldly, "Dog Emperor, they said that you stole something. I've decided not to believe them. Did they threaten you to say that? Don't worry. With me here, I've decided not to sit by and do nothing." Hearing such righteous words, the dog emperor immediately changed his words. "That's right, they threatened me to say that." At this point, the dog emperor cried and said pitifully, "Brother, you don't know. The netherworld is too much of a bully. They said that I stole their treasure for no reason and then chased after me. I'm so bitter." Seeing that the dog emperor reacted so quickly, Wang Mang nodded in satisfaction. This guy wasn't stupid. Now that he saw that he had his support, the dog emperor changed his words very quickly. This proved that the dog emperor was still very smart and cunning. Seeing the dog emperor change his expression so quickly, the five elements loose cultivator and the dark underworld evil ghost, who were originally smiling, suddenly had ugly expressions. He could also see that Wang Mang was determined to interfere in their matter. Thinking of this, the five elements loose cultivator and the dark underworld evil ghost looked at each other and said gloomily, "Brother Python Emperor, it seems that you really want to make things difficult for us. Brother Python Emperor, do you really want to be enemies with the Lord of the 18 levels of hell?" Hearing this, Wang Mang immediately sneered. "Brothers, you don't have to threaten me like this. If the Lord of the 18 levels of hell was here, I would naturally back off." But now, after hearing Wang Mang's unscrupulous voice, the two Peak Emperor powerhouses were so angry that they laughed. They finally realized that Wang Mang didn't take them seriously at all. Good. Then we'll have a taste of the Python Emperor's strength. We'd like to see, is the Python Emperor's strength as strong as what you said? As soon as they finished speaking, the two of them attacked Wang Mang. They saw through the shocking killing move as soon as they attacked. 1,000 ghosts devouring soul. The underworld evil spirit's hands formed a seal, and countless evil spirits rushed out of its body, causing the sky to change color. At the same time, the 5 elements unfettered cultivator waved his hands, condensing 5 different colored rings of Yin-Chi around his body. At the same time, he angrily shouted, 5 elements demon suppression force. In the next moment, the 2 attacks that caused the sky to change color rushed toward Wang Mang. Seeing this, Wang Mang's heart sank, and the terrifying power of thunder condensed between his 2 horns. Thunder spell. Rumble. A loud sound was heard. The thunder condensed between Wang Mang's 2 horns suddenly became like a thunder dragon, baring its fangs and brandishing its claws. Bang! 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 In the next moment, the 1,000 ghosts devouring soul, the black shadow that covered the sky and earth, was blasted into black gas by the terrifying power of thunder and dissipated. Not only that, after neutralizing the underworld evil spirit's attack, Wang Mang's thunder power was still unstoppable, and it still maintained the form of a thunder dragon, rushing toward the 5 elements cultivator. In just a moment, Wang Mang's thunder dragon collided with the 5 Yin-Chi rings condensed by the 5 elements cultivators Yin-Chi. Rumble. Bang. 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 A series of loud sounds like sonic booms exploded like thunder on the ground. At the place where the supernatural powers collided, smoke and dust filled the sky. The surrounding mountains and forests were also swept into ruins by the terrifying aftershock. With just one exchange, it could be seen that the 2 sides were indeed on par. But Wang Mang was fighting against 2 alone, especially when he saw these 2 fellows in a slightly sorry state and their ugly expressions. Wang Mang couldn't help but be overjoyed. He didn't expect his strength to be so strong. After the previous exchange of blows, Wang Mang could see that his strength was really no different from that of a peak pseudo-land immortal. In fact, Wang Mang was confident that he could kill these 2 peak emperor-level powerhouses of the netherworld. Chapter 374. Thinking of this, Wang Mang's cold and scarlet snake eyes revealed a cold, killing intent. Obviously, Wang Mang wanted to kill these 2 fellows. In Wang Mang's opinion, since he had already offended them, he might as well offend them ruthlessly. Wang Mang had always been the kind of person who either didn't offend him or offended him to death. Therefore, the current Wang Mang didn't want to let go of these 2 fellows whose strength was inferior to his. At the same time, on the other side, the Dog Emperor, who was watching the battle from afar, he was even more dumbfounded by Wang Mang's strength. He could already feel that Wang Mang's strength was very strong. In fact, it was so strong that it exceeded his expectations. However, the Dog Emperor didn't expect that Wang Mang would be so strong. A peak Emperor stage expert was actually unable to suppress Wang Mang. Even 2 peak Emperor stage experts were only able to remain undefeated against Wang Mang. This was 2F** King exaggerated. One had to know that Wang Mang's strength back then was only slightly stronger than his. However, ever since the 2 of them parted ways, Wang Mang's strength had actually increased by so much. Stronger than a peak Emperor stage expert. Didn't that mean Wang Mang was already close to the land immortal? Thinking of this, the Dog Emperor felt his scalp go numb. He was bewildered. How did Wang Mang increase his strength? This was because Wang Mang's strength had increased too quickly. It was so fast that it couldn't be understood with common sense. It was so fast that he had never heard of it before. Thinking back to the time when Wang Mang was just an ant in front of him, now that their identities had been switched, the Dog Emperor's heart was filled with bitterness. Perhaps it was the right choice for me to follow Lu Dongbin back then. On the other side, it was just a single exchange of divine abilities. The 5 elements loose cultivator and the dark underworld evil spirit's hearts became heavy. The gazes with which they looked at Wang Mang became even more fearful. Wang Mang's strength was on par with the top Earth immortals in the nether underworld. Strictly speaking, their strength was slightly weaker than Wang Mang's. Do you still want to fight? If you don't want to fight, then leave now. Ben Wang let bygones be bygones. At this moment, seeing the two of them hesitate, Wang Meng suddenly opened his mouth and laughed. Take care of yourself. The expressions of the dark underworld evil ghost and the five elements cultivator changed, and they coldly said. Hearing this, Wang Meng smiled. Seeing that the two of them had let down their guard, he turned around and prepared to leave. Wang Meng attacked again. The Wang Meng that had already formed three heads all opened their ferocious mouths. In the next moment, Wang Meng used three divine abilities. Eternal Frost, Destruction Laser, Wishful Bone Spur. Wang Meng opened his three bloody mouths and used three divine abilities in an instant. The expressions of the dark underworld evil ghost and the five elements cultivator, who were about to leave, changed drastically. Of course, they could feel the sudden change behind them, but when they turned around, they were instantly blown by a gust of ice wind. Then, the two of them were instantly frozen into huge ice sculptures. In the next moment, the wishful bone spur instantly pierced through. Its speed was as fast as lightning. Rumble, accompanied by the sound of the ice sculpture shattering. This sharp and slender bone spur had already pierced through and immediately pierced through the body of the five elements cultivator. The dark underworld evil ghost on the side was not hit by the wishful bone spur, but just as he was about to fight back in anger, he was drowned by the destruction laser. In the next moment, the area covered by the destruction laser turned into ruins, including the mountains, forests, and distant mountains. They were all directly destroyed by the destruction laser, including these two peak Emperor stage powerhouses. After the black smoke dissipated, only ruins were left. Seeing this scene, Wang Meng secretly nodded in satisfaction. He finally had some confidence in his own strength. He easily killed these two peak Emperor stage powerhouses. Finally, Wang Meng didn't feel so sullen anymore, because after fighting with the peak pseudo-land immortal powerhouses, Wang Meng really didn't have a sense of superiority. But now Wang Meng regained this sense of superiority. I'm still very strong. Peak powerhouses can be killed instantly. All right, although it was a sneak attack, but there was no doubt about my strength. Thinking of this, Wang Meng couldn't help but be in a good mood. The only regret was that these two powerhouses were directly turned into dregs by his divine ability. Otherwise, two peak Emperor stage powerhouses should be worth a lot of evolution points, right? Thinking of this, Wang Meng secretly shook his head and didn't feel too regretful, because, in Wang Meng's opinion, the things on the Dog Emperor's body were the real deal. Thinking of this, Wang Meng subconsciously looked at the Dog Emperor not far away. Seeing the Dog Emperor's stunned expression, Wang Meng was immediately pleased. He moved his huge body, came to the Dog Emperor's side, and immediately said with a smile, "Brother Dog Emperor, take it out for me to take a look." After coming back to his senses, the Dog Emperor looked at Wang Meng's kind appearance and was stunned. He looked at Wang Meng in disbelief and said in astonishment, "Brother, could it be that you helped me because of my gains in the underworld? Isn't it because we're brothers?" Seeing the Dog Emperor's astonished expression, Wang Meng was speechless. Of course, Wang Meng couldn't be too straightforward. He couldn't say that he saved him because he was concerned about his gains in the underworld, right? Thinking of this, Wang Meng suddenly sighed. "Brother Dog Emperor, as you can see, I've already offended the Lord of the 18 levels of hell. I can't wait to increase my strength. Brother, if you don't give me the things you obtain to increase my strength, when will I be able to reach the level of an Earth Immortal? Brother, do you want to watch me die?" After hearing Wang Meng's words, the Dog Emperor's heart darkened. In fact, he had already realized it. How could Wang Meng be willing to die for him? Because of this, the Dog Emperor had already guessed that Wang Meng was doing this for the treasures on his body. However, Wang Meng's words made him speechless, and he didn't know how to refute. He really wanted to say to Wang Meng, "You King cheated on my feelings, and now you want the gains that I worked so hard to obtain?" However, when he thought of Wang Meng's strength, the Dog Emperor felt very bitter and powerless. If his strength was not weaker than Wang Mang, he would have the confidence to say such words. However, Wang Mang's strength was on a completely different level from his. Thinking of this, the Dog Emperor immediately said vaguely, "Brother Giant Python, it's not that easy to break through to the Earth immortal realm. Moreover, you don't have an immortal token, underworld token, or spirit token. Once you break through to the Earth immortal realm, you will definitely encounter a heavenly tribulation." So, without waiting for the Dog Emperor to speak, Wang Mang immediately smiled and said, "You don't have to worry about that, Dog Emperor. I've already gotten an immortal token. Now, all I need is treasures to accumulate cultivation, and I'll be able to become an Earth immortal." Hearing Wang Mang's words, the Dog Emperor was even more stunned, and his face was filled with astonishment. After a long time, the Dog Emperor recovered from his shock and immediately said pitifully, "Little brother, can you leave some for your big brother? We're brothers. Look at me. My strength is only at the level of 7,000 years." Hearing this, Wang Mang did not answer the question and asked with a smile, "Dog Emperor, which do you think is more important, the treasures or your life?" Hearing this, the Dog Emperor suddenly fell silent and said in a lonely tone, "Okay, I got a brother." After saying that, the Dog Emperor opened his mouth and spat out a few treasures. Wang Mang was simply stunned, and his face was filled with disbelief, because the treasures that the Dog Emperor spat out were actually 5 half-immortal level treasures. In the next moment, Wang Mang immediately put away the 5 half-immortal level treasures that were about to escape. At this moment, the Dog Emperor's face was filled with bitterness as he asked pitifully, "Brother, can I leave now?" Hearing this, Wang Mang, who was in a state of joy, was about to nod and agree. But Wang Mang seemed to have thought of something. He immediately felt that something was wrong. Something's not right. Something's very wrong. If I've already gotten all the treasures, why hasn't the system's voice sounded yet? Why hasn't it notified me that I've completed the mission? This doesn't seem to make sense. Could it be that there's something wrong with the system? That's impossible. Thinking of this, Wang Mang's heart sank. He already had a guess in his heart. There was only one possibility for this situation. This dog didn't spit out everything. Chapter 375. Thinking of this, Wang Mang couldn't help but laugh. "Dog Emperor, this fellow is really dishonest. If it weren't for the system's quest, Wang Mang wouldn't have thought that the Dog Emperor was hiding something. After all, the Dog Emperor's pitiful appearance could be said to be extremely pitiful. Normal people wouldn't be able to look straight at him." Thinking of this, Wang Mang couldn't help but laugh coldly to himself. This dog was really good at pretending to be pitiful. Seeing that the Dog Emperor was about to leave, Wang Mang suddenly said, "Wait." Hearing this, the Dog Emperor turned around and said in a lonely voice, "Brother Giant Python, is there anything else?" Hearing this, Wang Mang smiled and said, "Brother, are you sure you've given everything to me? Don't tell me there's still something you haven't spat out." Wang Mang's words made the Dog Emperor's body tremble. He shook his head and said angrily, "How is that possible? Brother Giant Python, don't tell me that you don't recognize me as your brother and don't trust me anymore." Seeing that the Dog Emperor was serious, Wang Mang was speechless. This dog was really good at acting. If it weren't for the system's quest, Wang Mang would have been fooled by this guy. Thinking of this, Wang Mang said coldly, "It seems that Dog Emperor isn't being honest anymore. Brother, I risked my life to save you, but Dog Emperor isn't grateful at all. He's still lying to me." Saying this, Wang Mang's murderous intent was revealed. He said coldly, "I might as well search your stomach myself." Hearing this, the Dog Emperor was so scared that his whole body trembled. He shook his head and said, "Brother Giant Python, don't be angry. I'll do it myself." At this point, the Dog Emperor opened its mouth in despair and heartache and spat out another half-immortal level natural treasure. Upon seeing this, Wang Mang hurriedly put away the half-immortal grade spirit stone. At the same time, Wang Mang was also very happy. This bastard actually stole 6 quasi-immortal grade natural treasures. If the dog emperor digested it, this guy's strength would definitely be enough to become a fake Earth immortal. Just as Wang Mang was about to ask if there were any more, the system's voice rang in his mind. Ding! Congratulations, host. Mission completed. Ding! Congratulations, host. Obtained 12 billion evolution points. Ding! Congratulations, host. You've obtained a top-grade blind box, X1. After listening to the system's voice, Wang Mang couldn't help but burst with joy. The harvest from this trip was simply too great. A total of 6 quasi-immortal grade heavenly treasures. This was enough for him to evolve again. However, Wang Mang was not in a hurry to evolve. He wanted to accumulate more before evolving. After all, he had just evolved not long ago. Thinking of this, Wang Mang nodded slightly, indicating that the lonely dog emperor could leave. Seeing this scene, the dog emperor was silent, nodded, turned around, and left. Its lonely figure seemed very lonely. Seeing this, Wang Mang had mixed feelings and secretly shook his head. However, Wang Mang could see from its previous eyes. The dog emperor probably had completely broken off their relationship. So forget it. The strong are destined to be lonely. The further I go, the more lonely I will definitely be. I'll get used to it. Wang Mang comforted himself in his heart. However, after thinking about the harvest this time, Wang Mang was in a good mood. He turned into an eagle and flew into the distance. Half an hour later, Wang Mang once again arrived at the bustling city. This time, Wang Mang didn't have any missions to complete when he came to the bustling city, other than a mission to inform the people of the truth of the impending disaster. Of course, this mission couldn't be completed in the next few days, because there were still about 10 days before the disaster. Wang Mang naturally couldn't reveal the truth now. Therefore, after arriving at the bustling city, Wang Mang turned into his human form and strolled around the city. However, the city in front of him was no longer as lively and prosperous as before. There was only one word to describe it, and that was chaos. Yes, it was very chaotic. People fighting on the streets could be seen everywhere. There were also fights between 2 factions on the streets. It was as if it had entered an era of warlords. In every city, there were dozens of factions of various sizes. This day passed very quickly. Under the gloomy sky, time passed. In the next few days, Wang Mang enjoyed the scenery as he strolled around, admiring the beautiful world before the calamity arrived. In the blink of an eye, 7 days passed. In these 7 days, Wang Mang looked at the world that was falling apart day by day. There were feelings in it, but more of it was helplessness. If possible, Wang Mang certainly didn't want this world to fall into a disaster so easily. However, Wang Mang didn't have the strength, nor could he stop it. He could only go with the flow. Wang Mang muttered to himself, "It's time to complete this mission." Thinking of this, Wang Mang took out his military mobile phone and called the people of the empire. He also told them where he was and prepared for the last round of live interviews. Because after this interview, Wang Mang probably wouldn't have a chance. He didn't know what the world would be like by then. After receiving the call, the empire also organized the people immediately. However, fortunately, Wang Mang was still in Yonggui City in Guizhou province. Therefore, the people of the empire organized the people very quickly. Only half an hour later, the street where Wang Mang was occupied by the uniformed soldiers of the empire with rifles in their hands. At a glance, there were at least 2,000 soldiers of the empire. The person in charge of leading the team was a middle-aged man that Wang Mang didn't know at all. When the middle-aged man saw Wang Mang, he immediately walked up respectfully and said, "Greetings, Lord Guardian." Hearing this, Wang Mang nodded slightly and said, "Good. Have you organized the people for the interview? Then let's begin." After that, Wang Mang glanced at the organized interview team not far away and nodded with satisfaction. The middle-aged man in the military fur coat nodded respectfully and said to the interview team, "Let's begin." In just a moment, the interview team was organized. The beautiful host stood not far in front of Wang Mang. More than a dozen cameras were already aimed at Wang Mang. A few minutes later, the beautiful host said with a smile, "Friends in front of the TV, audience in front of the live broadcast. This time, we have invited the Lord Guardian of the Empire again. Yes, you are right. The person standing in front of you is our Lord Guardian. Because the Lord Guardian's strength is no longer something that we can guess. He can change into any form he wants. Next, let's welcome our Lord Guardian to speak. At the same time, the interview in front of them appeared on all the TV channels. Similarly, the live broadcast of the Empire's account directly entered all the mobile phones and TV devices like a virus. Anyone who was watching TV or the live broadcast at this moment could basically see Wang Mang. This was just like the news broadcast of the Empire every night. At this moment, after a slight adjustment of his thoughts, Wang Mang's expression was indifferent as he slowly opened his mouth and said, "It's up to you whether you want to listen to what this Lord Guardian is going to say next. In the next few days, this Lord Guardian doesn't recommend the people to go out. So, after the food is stored, it's best for everyone to stay at home. Many people, in fact, should have already expected that something big will happen in the future. In fact, this is indeed the case. These days, the people should have also noticed that the sky is shrouded in yin qi. The sky is like splashed ink, as if there is no distinction between day and night. If I'm not wrong, this Lord Guardian speculates that in the next 5 days, a disaster will befall the world." Chapter 376. After listening to Wang Mang's words, everyone present was dumbfounded, especially the middle-aged man in a military leather coat who was in charge of organizing this operation. His forehead was dripping with sweat. He didn't expect Wang Mang to directly announce the truth and speak his guesses. If so, it would worsen the chaos of the world empire and even make the world even crazier. Thinking of this, the middle-aged man suddenly felt very helpless, but he didn't dare to stop the interview. Wang Mang wasn't someone he could offend. Now, he was the guardian of the empire in name. However, the middle-aged man vaguely knew that Wang Mang would announce some things in this interview. Although he was very shocked and even panicked, there was nothing he could do. He could only watch the interview continue. At the same time, at this moment, the countless onlookers and the viewers in the live broadcast room were in an uproar. Because if these words were said by someone else, they might not care. But these were the words of the guardian of the empire. They knew the guardian of the empire very well. He was very powerful and had monstrous strength. Therefore, they were able to understand and trust him for being able to transform into anything he wanted. Could it be that the people of the empire colluded to deceive them? That was obviously impossible. Therefore, when they heard the guardian's words, many onlookers in the live broadcast room were in an uproar. All kinds of comments were crazily scrolling, so fast that people couldn't see the news. Because there were too many people watching at this moment. It wouldn't be an exaggeration to say that there were hundreds of millions of viewers. Whirlwind Kid, it's over. Even the guardian said it. It seems that disaster is really coming. Drunk for beauty, yes. In fact, everyone knows in their hearts that these days, the sun and the moon were in the sky, and then every day, day and night, dark clouds covered the sky. 1. Not a macho man. What's coming is coming. What will the world become like in the future? No one should know. Jiang Luer, dream come true. Black Tortoise Sect recruiting, located in Fu Province. Tianshan Elder, Northeast Tiger Sect recruiting, located in the 3 eastern provinces. They're strong, and the target is young and strong. Handsome middle-aged man. It's over, it's over. I only saved 300 caddies of rice. What should I do? Her Highness Chow Biluo. I just lost weight. Is Big Brother taking care of me? I'm really beautiful now. The sect leader of the Wudong clan. With the advent of the apocalypse, the Wudong clan will be recruiting disciples. We will prioritize young and strong men with a foundation in martial arts. The Hong Master of the Hong Sect. The Hong Sect, an international organization, is recruiting online. As long as you are strong enough, come and join us. This is a gathering place for the strong. Be your moon. I've found a partner. The calamity of heaven and earth is coming. I want to fall in love before I die. Cute and cute little cutie. Good brothers, I'm 18 years old. I live with my mother, and the living conditions are very poor. Is there a powerful brother who will take me in? Medical alliance. No matter how the disaster changes, there will always be people injured, right? The medical alliance is looking forward to your joining. Priority is given to those in the medical industry. The treatment is generous. I'm a warlord, recruiting mercenaries. Priority given to retired elites. Priority given to those with good physique. Top treatment in the world. Position XXX. It could be said that this news caused everyone to feel despair. However, the citizens had already expected this or were mentally prepared for it. Therefore, their ability to accept things was very strong, but also made them even crazier. They wanted to expand their forces to the peak before the calamity of heaven and earth, in case of emergency. After all, once the calamity came, no one knew what would happen. At the same time, the interview was still going on. Wang Mang pondered for a while and slowly said, "Also, the citizens in your provinces or the provinces around the headquarters of the Imperial Army, don't panic. The Imperial Army will do its best to protect you. As for the citizens in the surrounding provinces who don't have powerful forces, don't panic. Take up your weapons and protect yourselves. I, the Guardian God, also hope that the citizens can overcome the calamity. There is always a rainbow after the storm. Don't give up." While Wang Mang was talking, the viewers in the live broadcast channel were also discussing heatedly. Little Peony. I suddenly realized that the Guardian God is so serious in this interview. Pop culture's top hostess. Sisters, did you notice that the Guardian God is in human form this time? That means that it is possible to suck up to him. White Sea God Fiend Emperor. Awesome. Aren't you afraid that the Guardian God will kill you? The Guardian God is a super giant python, a few hundred meters long. Old Monk Rashi. Damn, women nowadays are really realistic. If you have the ability, come at me. What kind of ability is it to go to the Guardian God? Daji loves King Zhou. Upstairs, you are so disgusting. What do you mean by women being realistic? At this time, do you think I will let you play with me for free? What's wrong with finding a backer? Little Red Moon. Men nowadays are so weird. Sisters, don't pay attention to him. Hurry up and find a backer. Otherwise, when the calamity comes and order collapses, we will even be reduced to goods. Destiny's Son. I think that when the calamity comes and order collapses, there is nothing bad about it. When the time comes, the heroes will be divided and the capable will rise against the trend. Isn't it good to have 3 wives and 4 concubines? The plane? Brothers, come on. The Beggar Sect welcomes you to join us. Located in your province, we welcome the strong to join us. Charming Pavilion. This is a world of beauties. The strong are kings. This is the place where I grew up. There are young women, stewardesses, Lolas. We have everything you want, as long as you are strong enough. We are all yours. At the same time, Wang Mang had roughly explained the situation that might happen. After making sure that there was nothing left out, Wang Mang slowly said, "I have said what I should say. Let's end the interview here." Hearing this, the Imperial team in charge of the interview ended the interview. But just as everyone was about to leave, a strange scene appeared in the sky. They saw that the sky, which was originally covered with dark clouds, suddenly had a faint light. However, the color of the light was red. This also attracted the attention of all the people in the world at this moment. They all looked up at the sky. Wang Mang was no exception. But when they saw the scene in front of them, Wang Mang was suddenly stunned. At night, in the dark sky, the ink-like dark clouds dispersed. In their place was a full moon hung high in the sky, different from the previous moons. However, this full moon was blood red. Just as Wang Mang was in shock, the system's voice sounded. Ding! Congratulations to the host. Mission successfully completed. Ding! Congratulations to the host. Obtained 13 billion evolution points. Ding! Congratulations to the host. Obtained the best quality blind box X2. Ding! Congratulations to the host. Obtained a random red packet X3. Chapter 377. Ding! Evolution conditions have been met. Begin evolution? No. After hearing the system's voice, Wang Mang was stunned. Did the disaster begin at this moment? Wasn't this a little too much? But what Wang Mang didn't know was that, in fact, it had really begun. At this moment, looking at the strange blood moon in the sky, everyone present fell into a state of shock. Because Wang Mang wasn't the only one on the street. There were also the interview team from the Empire, as well as the onlookers. Previously, when Wang Mang was being interviewed, there were already many onlookers outside the cordon set up by the Empire soldiers. Therefore, after seeing this extremely strange scene, many of the onlookers fell into panic. Oh my God, what the hell is going on? Yeah, why did the moon turn blood red? Is it really like what the guardian deity said, that the disaster is coming? Guardian deity, what the hell is going on? Yeah, guardian deity, is the disaster already here? At that moment, many of the surrounding commoners began to ask Wang Mang in panic. At the same time, the interview team from the Empire also looked at Wang Mang in panic. Seeing this scene, Wang Mang suddenly frowned, but still comforted them. Everyone, you'd better hurry back. This should be the precursor of the disaster. Remember the instructions of this guardian god. After saying that, Wang Mang ignored the onlookers. He suddenly transformed into his huge body and soared into the sky, disappearing into the night. But when he was flying home in the sky, Wang Mang found something unusual. It was raining in the sky. The only difference was that the rain was very strange. Wang Mang could vaguely feel that there was an evil force in the rain that was similar to spiritual qi. What's going on with this rain? Not to mention that the rain is blood red. Why is the fluctuation of spiritual qi so strong? It's much stronger than the spiritual qi in the sky. At this moment, Wang Mang didn't feel any discomfort despite the rain falling on his body. However, Wang Mang could feel that there was a trace of evil energy within the rainwater. This trace of evil power mixed with the dense spiritual energy rainwater. What was even stranger was that Wang Mang could see that after being drenched by the blood-red rain, many trees began to grow at a speed visible to the naked eye. Similarly, after being drenched by the rain, Wang Mang could also feel that his body was unusually comfortable, because, to Wang Mang, that strand of evil energy was simply insignificant. It could even be said that it did not affect him at all. However, Wang Mang could feel that the rain was washing and nourishing his body. This feeling was very comfortable, and it was as if every part of his body was active. Half an hour later, Wang Mang returned to his villa on the mountain. After returning, Wang Mang saw his father, mother, and grandmother sitting in the living room with a serious expression. In addition, his father's confidants, Uncle Yang and Uncle Lu, as well as the reincarnated fatty who reported the news before. When he saw Wang Mang, Wang Fu's expression immediately eased a lot, and he quickly said, "Son, come in quickly." Hearing this, Wang Mang nodded slightly, greeted Uncle Yang and Uncle Lu, and then sat beside his father. His father then opened his mouth and continued, "Son, just now, the fatty said that anyone who is drenched by the blood rain will begin to cough. In the end, if they can't endure it, they will become zombies. However, those who are drenched by the blood rain, if they can endure it, will become stronger to different degrees. It varies from person to person." Hearing this, Wang Mang was a little surprised. Glancing at the fatty who was reincarnated, Wang Mang nodded and said, "Yes, when I came back just now, I was already drenched. In the process of being drenched, I could feel that the rain was filled with spiritual energy, but there was a trace of evil and strange power in it." Hearing this, Queen Mother was shocked and said worriedly, "Mang Er, you were drenched in the rain. What if something happened to you?" Hearing this, Wang Mang didn't know whether to laugh or cry. "Mom, your son is now a powerhouse who is close to the Earth immortal level. There are not many people in the world who are stronger than me. How can a mere blood rain before a disaster affect your son?" Hearing Wang Mang's words, the fatty also quickly nodded and said, "Yes, Lord Demon King will not be affected by this blood rain. Some people who are drenched in the rain can even become stronger and have better bodies after enduring it. Only those who can't endure it will be affected and even become zombies in the end. But such a situation has no effect on a powerhouse like Lord Demon King." This blood rain should be a great danger to ordinary people, but has no effect on powerhouses. Hearing this, Uncle Yang and Uncle Lu's expressions changed drastically. The two of them looked at each other and expressed their worries. Old Lu and I were drenched in the rain earlier. What should we do? Yes, we won't turn into zombie monsters because we can't listen to it, right? Hearing this, Wang Mang was stunned. Wang Fu also looked at the fatty, not knowing what to do. The fatty said hesitantly, "In my previous life, I was also drenched in this rain, but I survived it. If it's the two of you, there's a 50% chance that you won't survive it." After hearing the fatty's words, Uncle Yang and Uncle Lu looked at each other and couldn't help but feel bitter and helpless. As if thinking of something, the fatty added again, "And this blood rain can't be avoided, because there will be blood rain from time to time in the future. We can hide for a while, but we can't hide forever." After hearing this, Uncle Yang and Uncle Lu, who were still complaining, felt even more helpless. They finally understood that this was a test that they had to go through. "Okay, Old Lu, Old Yang, don't be discouraged. Isolate yourselves for the next few days. You're not the only one who needs to be quarantined. Even the mercenaries we recruited have to be quarantined in the rain. We don't know how many of these mercenaries can survive, or if they can't." Hearing this, Wang Meng couldn't help but look at his father and ask, "Dad, how many mercenaries did you recruit?" His father was stunned for a moment, then said proudly, "About 10,000 in the prime of their lives. After the disaster, your father will be able to dominate a region and become a king." Chapter 378. He looked at his father, who was full of pride. Wang Mang was a little speechless. He didn't expect his father to be so ambitious. He actually recruited more than 10,000 men in their prime. Once the cataclysm arrived, his father would be able to raise his arms and call for action, ruling over a region. After all, his father now had money, food, and manpower. This was because his father had already started preparing a few months before the cataclysm arrived. Judging from his father's tone, it seemed that everything was now in the hands of the East. In fact, this was indeed the case. Wang Fu's preparations for so long were not in vain. He could be said to have stored a large amount of food, recruited a large number of mercenaries, and even developed a unique divine beast coin. It could be said that Wang Fu had already established a simple ecological closed loop over the past few months. Forget it. Whether we live or die, it all depends on fate. At this time, Uncle Lu and Uncle Yang looked at each other and smiled bitterly. Hearing this, Wang Fu, who was originally a little proud, patted their shoulders and comforted them. "Don't worry. Didn't your family move? Just get through it." Only then did the two of them feel much better. Compared to the others, they were already considered lucky. After all, the Wang family could be said to be the most powerful force in your province. In any case, they were Old Man Wang's trusted brothers. Naturally, they received a lot of preferential treatment. Even their family members received preferential treatment. After the conversation started, Wang Fu also revealed the plan in his heart. "Son, I'm going to wait until the cataclysm arrives, then I'll sweep through your entire province. When the time comes, we'll focus on Yangguei City and reflect on the surrounding cities, forming a centralized, tiered rule." Hearing his father's words, Wang Meng couldn't help but say helplessly, "Father, it's not that simple. Look at the population of your province now. My preliminary estimate is that it should be no less than 100 million people. Before the cataclysm arrived, our province's population added up to less than 40 million people. Now it's more than doubled. When the time comes, it'll be 2 to 1, based on the probability of turning into zombies. In other words, at least half of them will become zombies, and the remaining population will be even less. Even if it's done slowly, it will still take a lot of time, if we really want to clear out the place first. My suggestion is to clear out Izuan and Yangguei cities first. This way, it will be easier to transport supplies." After hearing Wang Mang's suggestion, Old Man fell in a deep thought. After a long time, he slapped his thigh and gritted his teeth. "Good, let's do it." After reaching an agreement, Wang Mang nodded in satisfaction. He decided that he would transfer the 5 emperors from his territory over here later. He called out the 3 emperors to protect his father. At the same time, it could also be considered as assisting his father's plan. To Wang Mang, these 5 subordinates of the 5 emperors were not very useful. After all, Wang Mang's strength had increased too quickly. The 5 emperors under his command could not keep up with his speed of improvement. With this thought in mind, Wang Mang discussed the matter with his father. Dad continued to be responsible for quarantining the mercenaries who were drenched in the rain of blood. After discussing how to split up, Wang Mang left his residence in the middle of the night and flew towards his reservoir. Because if he did not make arrangements for his family, he would not be at ease. Half an hour later, Wang Mang returned to the vicinity of his reservoir. After arriving at his cave abode, Wang Mang immediately instructed the water buffalo and tiger demons to inform all his subordinates to gather and wait for his orders. The 2 great demons who received the order left the cave abode. As for Wang Mang, he returned to the cave abode. After returning to the cave abode, Wang Mang transformed into his original form and could not wait to increase his strength. Because his harvest in the past 10 days was even more bountiful than he had imagined. Moreover, the disaster of heaven and earth was about to descend. Wang Mang had not reached the land immortal level yet, so he felt uncertain. Lying to you, he was only 5 evolutions away from the land immortal level. But this time, his harvest was very good. He intercepted the 6 half-immortal level treasures of heaven and earth from the Dog Emperor, as well as the 3 top-grade blind boxes, and so on. There was also a lot of evolution points that he had digested. Wang Mang believed that with his strength, even if he still had not reached the land immortal level, he was definitely not far from it. Thinking of this, Wang Mang silently said in his heart, "System, open my personal information." In the next moment, personal information appeared before his eyes. Host, Wang Mang. Identity, 5 mountain god. Type, 8-winged, 3-headed python. Cultivation, 8,500 years. Demon Emperor level. Body shape, 252 meters long, 13 meters wide, 10 million kilograms weight, 10 million kilograms bite force, 150 kilometers per hour. Skills, corrosive poison, steel body, super self-healing, water-breathing, bloodthirsty fury, 10,000 beast deterrence, wishful shrinking. Divine ability, king's slavery, soul controlling seal, broken body rebirth, destructive laser, destructive sea of flames, eternal frost, heaven soaring, earth burrowing, wishful bone spur, thunder spell, 1 step in the world, 10,000 changes. Space, probing information, immortal tablet X1, random expert summoning card X1, free chance to upgrade divine ability X1, skill fusion card X1, divine ability lottery chance X1, one-time bad luck card. Dragon Emperor Chi plus 500, 6 half-immortal level treasures of heaven and earth, 3 top-grade blind boxes, random red packet X3. Shopping center, activated. Luck, 299, flood of fortune. Evolution points, 53 billion/48 billion. Current ranking, world's strongest expert, ranking 28th. After looking at his personal information, Wang Mang secretly nodded with satisfaction. Just the accumulated evolution points alone was enough for him to evolve once. 6 half-immortal level treasures of heaven and earth were enough for him to evolve once more. 3 top-grade blind boxes might be enough for him to evolve a 3rd time if he was lucky. Thinking of this, Wang Mang was very happy, because if nothing unexpected happened, this was the last time he would increase his strength before the disaster. Thinking of this, Wang Mang silently said in his heart, "System, first, take out 6 half-immortal level treasures of heaven and earth for me." In the next moment, 6 half-immortal level treasures of heaven and earth with different colors and medicinal fragrances appeared in front of him. "Lord Demon Emperor, please let us go. As long as the disaster comes, we can become immortals of the land." "That's right, Lord Demon Emperor. As long as you let us go, we will definitely repay you." For a time, the 6 half-immortal level treasures of heaven and earth struggled in fear and began to plead. Hearing this, Wang Mang ignored them. He was speechless in his heart. If I let you go, what will I eat to evolve? It's only when the disaster comes that I have to work hard to improve my strength. Thinking of this, Wang Mang did not say anything and began to throw the half-immortal level treasures of heaven and earth into his stomach. At the same time, the system's voice sounded frowny-facing. Congratulations to the host. Successfully devoured 8,900 years old half-immortal level treasures of heaven and earth. Obtained 12 billion evolution points. Ding! Congratulations to the host. Successfully devoured 8,800 years old half-immortal level treasures of heaven and earth. Obtained 10 billion evolution points. Ding! Congratulations to the host. Successfully devoured 8,850 years old half-immortal level treasures of heaven and earth. Obtained 11 billion evolution points. Ding! Congratulations to the host. Successfully devoured 8,850 years old half-immortal level treasures of heaven and earth. Obtained 11 billion evolution points. Ding! Congratulations to the host. Successfully devoured 8,800 years old half-immortal level treasures of heaven and earth. Obtained 10 billion evolution points. Ding! Congratulations to the host. Successfully devoured 8,900 years old half-immortal level treasures of heaven and earth. Obtained 12 billion evolution points. Ding! The accumulation has met the evolution conditions. Do you wish to begin evolution? Chapter 379. No. After listening to the system's voice, Wang Mang was overjoyed. These were 6 half-immortal level treasures. They provided him with more than 60 billion evolution points. Sure enough, relying on one's own efforts would never be as fast as reaping without sowing. As the saying goes, killing an arson is a golden belt. This sentence was not wrong at all. If he did not snatch the Dog Emperor's treasures this time, Wang Mang would definitely not have such a big harvest. It was even more impossible for him to have the last increase in strength before the disaster. Thinking of this, Wang Mang was overjoyed. He roughly calculated that these 6 half-immortal heavenly treasures had given him 68 billion evolution points. Adding the evolution points he had accumulated, Wang Mang's evolution points were 121 billion. It could be said that he was not too far away from evolving 3 times in a row. This did not include the other things. Not bad. Not bad. After this increase in strength, his strength should be infinitely close to an Earth immortal level expert. At that time, what would Xiang Yu be? Kill him. Han Xian? Isn't Han Xian just a younger brother? No, they're all younger brothers. When I reach the pseudo-Earth immortal level, other than a few Earth immortal level experts, no one can bully me. The hot-blooded Wang Mang excitedly continued to organize his gains. He also got a new thing this time. What was it called? Oh, right, a random red packet. Thinking of this, Wang Mang said in his heart in anticipation, "System, open a random red packet." In the next moment, the system's voice sounded frowny-facing. Congratulations, host. Successfully opened a random red packet. Ding. Congratulations, host. Obtained 100 million evolution points. After listening to the system's voice, Wang Mang, who was looking forward to it, was suddenly stunned. That's it. That's it. Damn it. I just obtained 100 million evolution points? F***CK, your uncle. After a long time, there was still no sound from the system. Wang Mang couldn't help but get angry. A random red envelope gave him 100 million evolution points? To Wang Mang, who had a net worth of 100 billion evolution points, 100 million was nothing. Thinking of this, Wang Mang was very unhappy. He said again, "System, open the other 2 red envelopes as well." The next moment, the system's voice sounded again. Ding. Congratulations, host. 2 random red packets have been opened. Ding. Congratulations, host. Received 900 million evolution points. Ding. Congratulations, host. You have received 3 billion evolution points. F asterisk CK. F asterisk CK, your grandmother. 3 random red envelopes gave him a total of 4 billion evolution points. For Wang Mang, this small amount of evolution points was not even enough to cause him an itch. Forget it. Sure enough, this fancy thing was really unreliable. The best blind box was still more reliable. Oh, and the designated lucky draw was still more reliable. Thinking of this, Wang Mang prepared to open all the top-grade treasure chests. He wanted to break through to Earth Immortal in one go. Even if he couldn't break through to Earth Immortal in one go, he also wanted to fight for his strength to be infinitely close to the Earth Immortal level. After all, with his current strength of a peak demon emperor, he couldn't be a tyrant. On the contrary, his strength could only be tyrannical when he reached the Earth Immortal level. Thinking of this, Wang Mang silently said in his heart, "System, open a top-grade blind box for me." The next moment, the system's voice sounded again. Ding. Congratulations, host. Successfully opened a top-grade blind box. Ding. Congratulations, host. Obtained a packet of brown sugar water. After hearing about the prizes for the first time, Feng Xiu was stunned. Wang Mang was completely dumbfounded. Brown sugar water? I need this thing? Damn it. I'm a man. I'm a snake. I'm not a girl. I don't need this kind of thing at all. I don't have a Tao companion or a girlfriend. F asterisk CK. What kind of thing is this? There was no need to mention how depressed Wang Mang was. He felt that this top-grade blind box might be a loss. Moreover, the possibility was very high. Otherwise, how could such a trash thing be opened? Just as Wang Mang was puzzled, the system's voice sounded for the second time, frowny face ding. Congratulations, host. Obtained 5 billion evolution points. Not bad, not bad. The second time the prize was given out, Wang Mang's gloomy heart finally felt a lot better. Another minute later, the system's voice sounded for the third time, frowny face ding. Congratulations, host. Obtained 10% of Tung Son-in-Law's shares. It could be said that Wang Mang was once again stunned by the third prize. The company's shares were all here. The problem was that this wasn't a peaceful era. If he was given this thing before his rebirth, Wang Mang would probably go crazy with joy. After all, just 10% of the shares, and Tung's son-in-law's shares were enough to make him the richest man in the empire. But what was the use of giving him this thing now? Because the world was going to be in chaos. Wang Mang was depressed for a while. The system's voice sounded for the fourth time, frowny face ding. Congratulations, host. Obtained 5 billion evolution points. Not bad. It was better than opening a trash thing. Wang Mang secretly muttered in his heart. Because this top-grade blind box, Wang Mang had a premonition that he was going to lose money. He had opened so many top-grade blind boxes, so he basically figured out the blind box's routine. If the first reward was trash, there was a high probability that he would lose money. If the first reward was good, there was a high probability that he would make a profit. At this time, the system's voice sounded for the fifth time, frowny face ding. Congratulations, host. Obtained a mortal-level mesmerizing love scent. Note: after using on the target, as long as the target has gender, they will fall into a state of madness and completely lose consciousness. They are even crazier than Teddy. It is effective on powerhouses below rank 4. Damn, this thing? Is it good or bad? After reading the explanation, Wang Mang was a bit stunned. The good thing was that this thing's medicinal effect was terrifying. Powerhouses below rank 4 would be affected. One must know, what level was a rank 3 powerhouse? Earth Immortals only reached the threshold of rank 3. But after using this thing, none of the rank 3 powerhouses would be spared. The degree of this medicinal effect could be said to be very terrifying. It was definitely not trash. This thing could have a miraculous effect at a critical moment. Thinking of this, Wang Mang decided to accept this thing. Because this thing was indeed the same as a one-time bad luck card, it had a miraculous effect at a critical moment. For example, if there was an Earth immortal powerhouse chasing after him, he would directly throw this thing out and then escape. At that time, this Earth immortal could slowly transform into Teddy. Just thinking about it, Wang Mang's eyes couldn't help but light up. Not bad. This thing was a good thing. Just when Wang Mang was happy. The system's voice sounded for the sixth time, frowny face ding. Congratulations, host. Obtained. Chapter 380. The system's voice resounded for the sixth time, frowny face ding. Congratulations, host. Obtained 5 billion evolution points. After hearing the system's voice, Wang Mang could not help but laugh. This top-quality blind box would not be a loss. He originally thought that it would at most give 10 billion evolution points. However, he did not expect that it would actually give 15 billion evolution points, as well as a mesmerizing love incense. This top-quality blind box's harvest was not bad. This was because his current accumulated evolution points had reached 140 billion. This time, he had evolved 3 times in a row. It could be said that this was something that was set in stone. Thinking about this, Wang Mang's mood was wonderful. The feeling of becoming stronger was very refreshing. The feeling of becoming stronger was even more refreshing, especially when he thought about how he was about to reach the top and become one of the strongest people on Earth. Wang Mang could not help but become excited. He then said, "System, open another top-quality blind box." In the next moment, the system's voice resounded again, frowny face ding. Congratulations, host. Successfully opened a top-quality blind box. Ding. Congratulations, host. Obtained 10 billion evolution points. Damn. Good. Is this the rhythm of letting me reach the heavens in a single step? After hearing about the first prize, Wang Mang muttered to himself in a happy mood. At this time, the system's voice resounded for the second time, frowny face ding. Congratulations, host. Obtained 1 billion evolution points. Damn, daddy system, this is a bit too much. The first reward was 10 billion, and the second reward was 1 billion. Thinking about this, Wang Mang's mood became a lot worse. He originally thought that this top-quality blind box would allow him to soar. In the end, the second reward made him drop his glasses. At this time, the system's voice resounded for the third time. Ding. Congratulations, host. Obtained 9 billion evolution points. After hearing the system's voice, Wang Mang finally heaved a sigh of relief. The third reward was 20 billion evolution points. This blind box was already profitable. Thinking about this, Wang Mang began to look forward to the next reward. A minute later, the system's voice resounded for the fourth time, frowny face ding. Congratulations, host. You have received a one-time bad luck card. After hearing the system's voice, Wang Mang was stunned for a moment. This was because he did not expect to draw a one-off unlucky card the last time. This time, he actually drew another one. It seemed like he had to use it as soon as possible. Thinking of this, Wang Mang could not help but sigh. The main thing was that he really didn't have a target to use it on, because Wang Mang's strength was neither too strong nor too weak. To be honest, the position was still very awkward. He could not afford to offend an Earth immortal level expert. He might be able to contend against pseudo-land immortal level powerhouses, but he wouldn't be able to win if there were too many of them. This was because Wang Mang believed that his current strength was at the level of a pseudo-land immortal. If they were ganged up on, he would not be able to defeat them. For example, Xiang Yu and the other two. So, it wasn't that Wang Mang didn't want to use it. It was because he really didn't have the chance to use it. For example, the single-use bad luck card and this mesmerizing fragrance. Wang Mang prepared to use it when he killed his opponent. Pseudo-land immortal level existences were basically not worthy of Wang Mang using these things. Of course, if there was a chance, Wang Mang didn't mind using it. Just as Wang Mang was sighing, the system's voice sounded for the fifth time, frowny face ding. Congratulations, host. Obtained 5 billion evolution points. Not bad. It seemed that this top-grade blind box was worth it. Thinking of this, Wang Mang became even more restless, because, including this blind box, the evolution points he obtained were already a lot. He might even have a chance to evolve 4 times in a row. Just as Wang Mang was looking forward to the next lottery, the system's voice sounded for the 6th time, frowny face ding. Congratulations, host. Obtained 5 billion evolution points. After listening to the system's voice, Wang Mang secretly nodded in satisfaction. Not bad, not bad. This top-grade blind box accumulated 30 billion evolution points. This was indeed beyond Wang Mang's expectations. However, overall, it was still not bad. At least, Wang Mang calculated that his evolution points had already reached 170 billion. This was completely enough for him to evolve 3 times in a row, and as long as he accumulated 200 billion evolution points, Wang Mang could even evolve 4 times in a row. Of course, whether or not he could evolve 4 times in a row would depend on whether Daddy System would give him face. Thinking of this, Wang Mang's heart hardened and once again said in his heart, System, open the top-grade blind box again. In the next moment, the system's voice sounded frowny face ding. Congratulations, host. Successfully opened the top-grade blind box. Following the system's voice, Wang Mang's heart became nervous again. This was the key to whether he could evolve 3 times in a row or 4 times in a row. If he could evolve 4 times in a row, Wang Mang believed that his strength was enough to reach the strongest level below the land immortal level. If he could evolve 3 times in a row, Wang Mang's strength might not be below the land immortal level, but it would not be too far off. Of course, after evolving 4 times in a row, his strength would definitely be a lot stronger than after evolving 3 times in a row. Thus, Wang Mang naturally hoped that he could evolve 4 times in a row. Under Wang Mang's expectations, the system's voice sounded for the first time, frowny face ding. Congratulations, host. Obtained 5 billion evolution points. This was the first time the system had opened. For Wang Mang, this was a good sign. If he could get another 20 to 30 billion evolution points, Wang Mang would be able to evolve 4 times. At this moment, the system's voice sounded for the 2nd time, frowny face ding. Congratulations, host. Obtained 5 billion evolution points. This was not bad. He had accumulated another 10 billion evolution points. Wang Mang's mood was still optimistic. He was still full of expectations for the next system. At this moment, the system's voice sounded for the 3rd time, frowny face ding. Congratulations, host. Obtained 1 box of turkey noodles. Damn. As expected, he got another piece of trash. Wang Mang was speechless at the 3rd system. He had eaten this before, but he had already turned into a snake. No matter how shabby he was, he shouldn't eat turkey noodles. Thinking about this, Wang Mang was even more powerless to ridicule. Luckily, Wang Mang was already used to it. Every time he opened a top-quality blind box, he would always get 1 or 2 pieces of trash. This was also within the range that Wang Mang could accept. After readjusting his state of mind, he was once again looking forward to the next system. 1 minute later, the system's voice sounded for the 4th time, frowny face ding. Congratulations, host. Obtained 1 box of fresh honey fruits. Damn, even the fruits are here. Damn, do you still want me to live? If this continues, there is no hope for me to evolve a 4th time. Thinking about the 3rd and 4th times, he got 2 pieces of trash. Wang Mang wanted to cry, but had no tears. He really did not know what to say. With these last 2 chances, he felt that evolving 4 times in a row would be a bit difficult. Just when Wang Mang was feeling despair, the system's voice sounded for the 5th time. Ding. Congratulations, host. Obtained. Chapter 381. After listening to the system's voice, Wang Mang was once again dumbfounded. He never thought that the Lord of the 18 levels of hell would actually come looking for him. If it wasn't for the system's notification, wouldn't he have been caught red-handed? Thinking of this, Wang Mang's joy from the sudden increase in strength immediately disappeared. In fact, at this moment, Wang Mang was a little panicked. The Lord of the 18 levels of hell's strength was undeniable. He was an earth immortal expert. Moreover, He was currently ranked in the top 3 on the global leaderboard. Thinking of this, Wang Mang was even more panicked. How could he fight against such an existence? Therefore, there was no need to choose between the 3 missions. Regardless of the outcome, it was not safe to fight. If he angered the Lord of the 18 levels of hell, this guy would directly chase after him or even kill him. It was not worth it. Therefore, after thinking for a while, Wang Mang could basically eliminate the 2nd and 3rd missions. Because the current Wang Mang really could not afford to offend the Lord of the 18 levels of hell. Forget it. Anyway, it had been a long time since he got a free meal. Just treat it as a free meal. Thinking of this, Wang Mang said in frustration, "System, I choose the 1st mission." In the next moment, the system's voice also sounded. "Ding! Congratulations, host. Obtained 5 billion evolution points." "Ding! Congratulations, host. Gold treasure chest, X1." After listening to the system's voice, Wang Mang was also very helpless. If he could, he also did not want to get a free meal. He even wanted to kill the Lord of the 18 levels of hell. However, Wang Mang was well aware of how capable he was. Thinking of this, Wang Mang did not waste any more time and prepared to leave the nest with a few of his subordinates. When Wang Mang arrived outside the cave, he found that all of his subordinates were there. The 4 emperors of the Zhongxi, the Black Dragon Emperor, the 3 great demons, and the old turtle in the reservoir. "Greetings, master." After seeing Wang Mang, all of the subordinates present at the scene greeted him respectfully. Hearing this, Wang Mang nodded slightly and said directly, "That's right. Stone Emperor, Flower Emperor, Black Dragon Emperor, the 3 of you will follow Ben Huang. The rest are free to move about in your province. When Ben Huang is not around, just leave the tiger, water buffalo, and goat demons to guard the cave abode. Also, old turtle, you continue to watch the reservoir. If there's any danger, just hide." "Yes." Hearing Wang Mang's order, the subordinates all nodded respectfully. After that, other than the 3 monster royals that Wang Mang had named, the rest of the monster royals went back. Similarly, the Tree Emperor and Willow Emperor nodded respectfully and left as well. When he saw this, Wang Mang nodded in satisfaction. Then, he turned to the Stone Emperor, Flower Emperor, and Black Dragon Emperor. "The 3 of you, follow me." After saying that, Wang Mang's huge body immediately sprouted 8 huge wings. However, at this moment, Wang Mang suddenly felt a terrifying aura coming from afar. Abruptly raising his head to look, Wang Mang saw a black cloud of fog in the distance, currently heading in his direction. Apart from that, Wang Mang also saw a familiar silhouette in the distance within the black fog. Within the black fog was the Dog Emperor that had parted ways with Wang Mang not long ago. At this moment, the Dog Emperor was struggling in the black fog, but it was to no avail. When he saw this, Wang Mang was stunned. The Dog Emperor was captured? Could it be that he was captured by the Lord of the 18 levels of hell? When he thought of this, Wang Mang did not have time to think. He immediately ordered, "You guys go to your province first. I'll look for you when I get there." "Yes, master." The Stone Emperor, Black Dragon Emperor, and Flower Emperor nodded and left first. After all, when they saw the terrifying expert coming from afar, they were also panicking. Just from the aura alone, this expert who had come with ill intentions was definitely not an existence that they could contend against. Moreover, although they did not know who this expert was, they could tell from the aura that this expert was most likely an Earth immortal. Therefore, the 3 emperors fled faster and faster. Seeing this, Wang Mang was speechless. However, Wang Mang did not blame them. This was because if they stayed, they would not be of any help to Wang Mang. On the contrary, they might even become a burden or a meaningless sacrifice. At the same time, similarly, Wang Mang did not choose to escape immediately. His main purpose was to buy time for his other 3 subordinates to escape. As for Wang Mang himself, of course, he was not afraid. With his current speed, if he used one-step skyline, he could reach more than 60,000 kilometers per hour. Therefore, even if he was facing an Earth immortal expert, Wang Mang was still very confident. At this time, the Lord of the 18 levels of hell had already appeared in front of him. The three-faced, six-armed, 3-meter-tall lord of the 18 levels of hell was holding the Dog Emperor in one hand, as if he was carrying an object. He looked at Wang Mang with a ferocious and terrifying face and an indifferent and cold gaze. He said in a chilling voice, "Hand it over. Don't force me to do it." Hearing this, Wang Mang immediately looked at the Lord of the 18 levels of hell and said in a puzzled tone, "I wonder what the Lord of Hell is talking about?" Although Wang Mang had already expected the Lord of the 18 levels of hell's purpose, of course, he would not admit it. After all, he had used them to increase his strength and had already eaten them. How could he spit out the 6 half-immortal treasures of heaven and earth? He could not spit them out even if he wanted to. Seeing Wang Mang putting on an act, the Lord of the 18 levels of hell's indifferent and deep eyes gradually turned scarlet. At the same time, the Lord of the 18 levels of hell's aura became even more terrifying. Seeing this, Wang Mang secretly raised his guard. If this guy dared to make a move, Wang Mang would naturally run away immediately. As for the Dog Emperor, who had completely fallen into the hands of the Lord of the 18 levels of hell, although Wang Mang sympathized with him, there was nothing he could do now. At this moment, the Dog Emperor could not help but beg, "Brother Giant Python, save me. We've known each other for so long. Brother, I've never done anything to let you down. Brother, you can't leave me in the lurch." Looking at the Dog Emperor's tearful and terrified expression, Lin Fan felt helpless. In his heart, Wang Mang felt very helpless. What the Dog Emperor said was not wrong. The problem was that Wang Mang really could not hand them over now. Thinking of this, Wang Mang could only helplessly ask, "Lord of Hell, even if you want me to take out so many treasures of heaven and earth, I can't take them out. Even if you kill me, I really can't take them out. Lord of Hell, what do you think about this? Let's just take the 6 half-immortal treasures of heaven and earth that I owe you first. If that's still not enough, there's nothing I can do. Lord, perhaps you can kill the Dog Emperor to vent your anger." Chapter 383. After hearing Wang Mang's words, the Lord of the 18 levels of hell hadn't spoken yet. The Dog Emperor couldn't help but curse. "Great. You're simply a beast. You still call me brother every day. Now that I'm in trouble, this is how you treat me? You've also snatched the things I stole, and now you're leaving me in the lurch?" Because the Dog Emperor really didn't expect that Wang Mang would actually leave him in the lurch. In his opinion, Wang Mang might have the idea of snatching the heavenly treasure because he wanted to increase his strength. But at least they knew each other. But in the end, Wang Mang actually left him in the lurch. This simply made the Dog Emperor greatly disappointed in Wang Mang. At the same time, Wang Mang's shamelessness also refreshed his understanding. If he, the Dog Emperor, still had a little conscience, then this Wang Mang really didn't have a conscience at all. It seemed that choosing to have a deep relationship with Wang Mang was indeed a wrong choice. Thinking of this, the Dog Emperor was filled with grief and indignation. At the same time, he was even more bitter. Ever since the disaster of heaven and earth was about to arrive, he was prepared to make a grand plan, but in the end, everything went wrong. Not only was he caught stealing the heavenly treasure, but he was also hunted down. After escaping from the underworld, he was still hunted down, and in the end, Wang Mang intercepted him. It was fine if he was intercepted, but in the end, he didn't get anything. He thought that it would be a waste of effort. In the end, he suffered a double loss. This was the benefit of not having a high luck value. In the face of the Dog Emperor's scolding, Wang Mang was also very helpless. To be honest, if it wasn't to increase his strength, he would definitely become friends with the Dog Emperor. After all, their personalities were so compatible, and their relationship was so good. But sometimes he really had no choice. At this moment, the Lord of Hell said in the same cold tone, "I know you have 2 methods, so you're not afraid of me. The first method is to summon experts. The second method should be your speed divine ability. That's why Ben Huang won't make things difficult for you. He's giving you 2 choices. Think about it." After hearing the King of Hell's words, Wang Mang's eyes lit up. It seemed like there was still a chance to save the Dog Emperor. Thinking of this, Wang Mang immediately beamed with joy. Lord of Hell, please speak. As long as I can do it, please tell me as soon as possible. After seeing Wang Mang's attitude, the Lord of Hell nodded in satisfaction. The first condition, I want you to kill a land immortal for me. We'll go now. Hearing this, Wang Mang smiled bitterly. Lord of Hell, you think too highly of me. With my strength, even now, I'm only a pseudo-land immortal. He is no match for an earth immortal expert. The reason why Wang Mang refused without hesitation was because he was indeed no match for an earth immortal expert. The second condition was that even the Lord of Hell couldn't kill an earth immortal. What would he use to kill one? What would he use to kill one? Would he rely on his mouth to deal damage? Would he directly spit out fragrances to kill an earth immortal? After hearing Wang Mang's refusal, the Lord of Hell smiled and said, Don't be in a hurry to refuse. You also want to kill this earth immortal. He is the earth god. Speaking of this, the Lord of Hell suddenly became furious. This damned old man wants to meddle in the affairs of the nether hell. This is simply unforgivable. After hearing this, Wang Mang was shocked. Could it be that the earth god has snatched the Yama underworld tablet? But who has a higher position, the Yama underworld tablet or the Lord of Hell's underworld tablet? To be honest, Wang Mang didn't know much about this. After all, he didn't know much about the nether hell. But his 5 mountain spirit tablet's position wasn't low. It was a 6th grade divine duty, so it shouldn't be weak, right? Of course, Wang Mang would never say this out loud. Because if the Lord of Hell found out that he had the 5 mountain spirit tablet, he would definitely snatch it away. Thinking of this, Wang Mang couldn't help but ask cautiously, But Lord of Hell, although I hate the earth god, I can't kill him. The old earth god is too strong. Even the black and white impermanence, double ghost gods, can't take him down. I really want to serve you, Lord, but I really don't have the ability. Lord, why don't you tell me the second condition? Let's think about it again. Speaking of this, Wang Mang felt very helpless. The old earth god's strength was simply too strong. Hearing this, the Lord of Hell said with a faint smile, You won't agree to the second condition. That is, hand over 12 immortal grade heavenly treasures now. Consider it as my loss. Wang Mang was immediately speechless. The second condition was to hand over 12 immortal grade heavenly treasures now. He really couldn't agree to it. Even the 2 conditions were too difficult for him. He couldn't even fulfill one of them. Thinking of this, Wang Mang could only say pitifully, Lord of Hell, I can't fulfill either of your 2 conditions. You want me to kill the earth god now. Isn't that suicide? As for the 12 immortal grade heavenly treasures now, it's even more impossible for me. I've already digested all the heavenly treasures in my stomach. Hearing Wang Mang's words, the Lord of the 18 levels of hell said coldly, If I want you to kill the earth god now, do you want me to give you another 2 immortal grade heavenly treasures? Hearing this, Wang Mang was immediately embarrassed. Naturally, he could hear the ridicule in the other party's words. Although he did have such an idea, Wang Mang also knew that it wasn't possible. He could only smile brightly and say, That's not necessary. Lord, why don't you give me some time? How about this, Lord of Hell? Wait for me to grow. However, Wang Mang didn't finish his words. The system in his mind sounded again frowny-facing, detecting the host's current situation. The host is given the following mission to choose from. Mission 1. Facing the earth god who once had good intentions towards the host. Choose to endure. Mission time can be obtained by choosing. Mission reward, 5 billion evolution points. Mission 2. Facing the Lord of the 18 levels of hell's request. Choose to repay 12 immortal grade heavenly treasures. Mission time can be obtained by completing. Mission reward, 10 billion evolution points. Best quality blind box, X3. Mission 3. Facing the Lord of the 18 levels of hell's request. Choose to take revenge and kill the old earth god. Mission time can be obtained by completing. Mission reward: 100 billion evolution points. Designated lottery chance, X1. Diamond chest, X3. Best quality blind box, X1. Chapter 384. We heard the system's voice. Wang Mang was even more speechless. He didn't expect the system to agree with the Lord of the 18 levels of hell suggestion. There was even a corresponding mission. The key was that the reward for this mission was very generous. How generous was it? It was so generous that Wang Mang was tempted when he saw it. The first mission was not to face the Earth Lord. That definitely wouldn't solve the problem, because if he refused, he wouldn't be able to pass the test of the Lord of the 18 levels of hell. At that time, he would even offend the Lord of the 18 levels of hell. Therefore, the first mission could basically be ruled out. This mission was completely unrealistic, and it wasn't beneficial. As for the second mission, asking Wang Mang to spit out twice the amount of the 6 half-immortal treasures he ate? Had he, Wang Mang, ever spat out what he had eaten? No. The Dog Emperor had spat out what he ate. But Wang Mang had never spat out what he ate. Therefore, the second mission could basically be ruled out. Then the answer in Wang Mang's heart was obvious. That's right, it was the third mission. This mission was the most difficult. This mission had the most rewards. At the same time, it was also the mission that Wang Mang had to choose. Fortunately, the system gave enough rewards this time. Moreover, there was no time limit. Therefore, in Wang Mang's opinion, it was still very good. Of course, Wang Mang didn't easily accept the mission. He had to first discuss the time with the Lord of the 18 levels of hell. Thinking of this, Wang Mang suddenly said in a decisive tone, "Lord of Hell, you also know that my strength is still too far away. So, Lord of Hell, you have to give me enough time. Otherwise, I really don't have the confidence to kill the old Earth Lord. I have to at least reach the level of an Earth Immortal." After saying that, Wang Mang looked at the Lord of Hell with a pitiful look. The Lord of the 18 levels of hell wasn't surprised by Wang Mang's final choice. He had a rough understanding of Wang Mang's personality from the Dog Emperor, and he was certain of Wang Mang's choice. Of course, if Wang Mang wanted too much time, he wouldn't give it to him. Therefore, the Lord of the 18 levels of hell sized up Wang Mang for a moment before speaking slowly. "I'll give you 1 month, according to the speed at which your strength increases. In less than a month, you will definitely become an Earth Immortal." After hearing the words of the Lord of the 18 layers of hell, Wang Mang almost couldn't hold back his tears. Just how much did the Lord of the 18 layers of hell think of me? But what Wang Mang didn't know was that the Lord of the 18 levels of hell really thought highly of him. That was because he had improved too quickly, and the Lord of the 18 levels of hell knew exactly how strong he had been not long ago. Because of this, the Lord of the 18 levels of hell was certain that Wang Mang would definitely be able to become an Earth Immortal within a month. Because judging from Wang Mang's current strength, based on his aura, was no weaker than any pseudo-land immortal. In fact, in terms of aura, Wang Mang's strength was even more terrifying than many pseudo-land immortals. Therefore, in response to Wang Mang's pitiful act, the Lord of the 18 levels of hell said indifferently, "In 1.5 months, if I don't see the old Earth Immortal die, then there will be a grudge between you and me." Speaking of this, the Lord of the 18 levels of hell threw the Dog Emperor to Wang Mang's side and said meaningfully, "Take care of yourself. You're on your own. You can disregard my words if you want. You can also ignore it. I'll only give you 1.5 months. In 1.5 months, the old Earth Immortal will die, and the grudge will be written off. If he doesn't die, then be prepared to be killed by me, or be killed by me." As soon as his voice fell, the Lord of the 18 levels of hell turned into a cloud of black mist, causing gusts of cold wind to sweep away. Looking at the Lord of the 18 levels of hell in the sky, who disappeared in just a moment, Wang Mang felt even more creeped out, because Wang Mang predicted that this guy's speed had reached the terrifying level of 50,000 kilometers per hour. It could be said that among the group of experts, this was the first time Wang Mang saw how fast the Lord of the 18 levels of hell was. In fact, Wang Meng couldn't help but think of a conspiracy theory. Could the Lord of the 18 levels of hell be waiting for the Dog Emperor to steal something from him? Then he would intercept him and take advantage of the opportunity to come to him, right? After all, this was too suspicious. Since the Lord of the 18 levels of hell could catch the Dog Emperor, then it didn't make sense for the Dog Emperor to escape from the underworld in the first place. At this moment, the Dog Emperor's angry voice sounded, "Stop guessing. If it wasn't for the fact that I ran out of space-shifting talismans, he wouldn't have been able to catch me." Hearing this, Wang Mang turned his huge snake head and looked at the Dog Emperor, who had an ugly expression as if he had eaten feces. "What the hell is going on? I saved your life. Aren't you going to tell me?" After hearing Wang Mang's words, the Dog Emperor sneered. "You took all my benefits and you saved my life? If you didn't take my benefits, I would have returned the treasures directly. Would I have been caught by him? If it wasn't for my benefits, would your strength have increased so much?" After hearing the Dog Emperor's words, Wang Mang was very unhappy. However, he was really speechless and couldn't refute, because what the Dog Emperor said was indeed the truth. If it wasn't for the 6 half-immortal level treasures provided by the Dog Emperor, his strength wouldn't have reached such a level. However, Wang Mang could see it. This Dog Emperor had a lot of resentment towards him. Should he kill him? This idea suddenly appeared in Wang Mang's mind. However, after thinking carefully, Wang Mang gave up on this idea. After all, he had a bottom line as a demon. He stole other people's benefits and even killed them. Wang Mang really couldn't do such a wicked thing. If he didn't know him, Wang Mang might have done it. The key was that the Dog Emperor was one of the 2 demons that he was more familiar with. The other demon was naturally the Bear Demon King. Thinking of this, Wang Mang immediately said in a deep voice, "Now that you're saved, I'll bear the consequences, right? You can leave now. Let's call it quits between us." After hearing Wang Mang's words, the Dog Emperor gritted his teeth and sneered. "Now that you've eaten your fill, you think that I'm useless and are ready to kick me away?" The Dog Emperor's words instantly stunned Wang Mang. He said in a stunned tone, "The problem isn't the danger already over? Why are you still staying?" Hearing this, the Dog Emperor rolled his eyes and sneered. "I'll stay and wait for you to be killed. If I don't see you die, I won't be able to vent my anger." Hearing this, Wang Mang couldn't help but curse. "Although I'm no longer human, you're still a real dog. Die as far as you can. Don't force me to kill you." Chapter 385. Hee hee. Now you're going to kill me. When there were benefits, who was the one who called me brother? When there were benefits, did I leave you out? Think about it yourself. Who is the real dog between the 2 of us? At this point, the Dog Emperor was unusually angry and even bared his teeth fiercely. Seeing this, Wang Mang was speechless. This guy couldn't beat him now. Instead, he was bringing up old scores. Wang Mang resisted the urge to strangle the Dog Emperor and couldn't help but ask, "How did you survive until now? Don't you know that when the enemy is strong and I'm weak, you have to be careful?" Hearing this, the Dog Emperor said coldly, "I don't have the habit of bowing to the strong. I, the Dog Emperor, have always done things my entire life. Why would I care about what others think?" Wang Mang was speechless and looked at the Dog Emperor proudly, raising his head. Wang Mang really didn't expect that this was a dog with its own pride. However, for this Dog Emperor to be able to survive until now, it was already quite good. After all, if it were any other Goblin Emperor, they would have been beaten to death long ago. However, Wang Mang couldn't be bothered to talk to this guy and said fiercely, "Stop following me, or else don't blame me for being rude to you." After saying this, Wang Mang moved his huge body, and with 8 wings on his back, he soared into the sky. However, what Wang Mang didn't notice was that the Dog Emperor was still following behind him, but at a distance. At the same time, in the process of rushing, Wang Mang said in his heart, "System, I choose Mission 3. In the next moment, the system's voice sounded frowny-faced ding. "Congratulations, host. You have successfully chosen the mission. Please complete the mission as soon as possible to receive the reward." After hearing the system's voice, Wang Mang, who was rushing on his way, couldn't help but feel emotional. Hopefully, he would be able to kill this old local god within a month and a half. After all, Wang Mang was very confident that he could reach the level of an earthly immortal in 1.5 months. Therefore, Wang Mang didn't take it seriously. What he needed to do now was to make arrangements for his father so that he could stabilize after the disaster. That way, he would be able to think of a way to complete the mission and continue to enjoy the process of becoming stronger. 10 minutes later, Wang Mang had already arrived at Yonggui City. At the same time, in a forest, he felt the aura of the 3 emperors of the Stone Emperor and easily reunited. Master, in a forest, the Stone Emperor and the others greeted Wang Mang respectfully. Let's go. The matter has been settled. Follow me. After nodding slightly, Wang Mang once again soared into the sky, followed by the Stone Emperor and the 3 sovereigns. Similarly, the Dog Emperor was following Wang Mang from afar. After seeing this scene, the Dog Emperor was completely stunned. Could it be that this guy has subdued the 4 emperors of the Western region? The gap between us is getting bigger and bigger. The Dog Emperor couldn't help but mutter to himself sourly. At the same time, he became even more certain of the thought in his heart. He had to figure out the reason for Wang Mang's sudden increase in strength. That was because Wang Mang's strength had increased too quickly. In fact, he was so envious that he wanted to know. At this moment, Wang Mang, who had already arrived at Yonggui City, had already arrived at his father's residence. However, what made Wang Mang feel helpless was that his father wasn't in the villa. On the contrary, his father was actually in Izun City. That was because the headquarters of the tens of thousands of troops that his father had recruited was built in Izun City. Helpless, Wang Mang could only turn around and talk to his father before arriving at Izun City. In a vast and huge private military base, Wang Mang sized up this military base in surprise. That was because this private military base was built very large. Although it looked very simple, there were tens of thousands of people. It was still a lot. Not only that, but these people were all ordered to disperse in the dripping blood rain. Not only that, at a glance, the entire place was covered in transparent tents. Soon, Wang Mang found where his father was. He saw that his father was braving the blood-red rain and commanding these guys with little fatty. In the next moment, Wang Mang transformed into his human form. Similarly, the Stone Emperor and the other 2 also transformed into the size of a normal person and followed closely behind like loyal subordinates. Son, you're here. Wang Fu, who was giving orders, immediately smiled when he saw his son. As for the Stone Golem, the Strange Flower Emperor, and the Black Dragon Emperor, who saw their son following behind, he was already used to it. That was because he had been in contact with his son for a long time and had long gotten used to these demons. Wang Mang nodded with a smile and introduced to Wang Fu. Father, the 3 of them will listen to your orders in the future. If there's something you can't handle, just let them do it. I'll be more at ease if they protect your safety. The 3 of them are all demon emperors. With their help, even if a disaster comes, they'll be able to help you stabilize the situation as quickly as possible. After hearing his son's words, Wang Fu was instantly shocked. He looked at the 3 strange-looking, monster-like emperors in shock. In the end, he nodded. All right, Mang, you're too kind. After seeing that his father had accepted it, Wang Mang heaved a sigh of relief. Then, he ordered the 3 emperors. Remember, if there's any danger, you have to listen to my father's orders. Also, if you encounter something you can't resist, or an expert, you have to ensure the safety of my father and family first. If there's even the slightest accident, you won't be able to live alone. After hearing Wang Mang's orders, the Black Dragon Emperor, Stone Emperor, and Flower Emperor were helpless. However, they still replied respectfully. Yes, Master. This was because Wang Mang's words were like an imperial edict to them. One word was enough to decide their life and death. Seeing that, Wang Mang nodded in satisfaction. Then he said to his father, Father, you should rest for a while. The 3 of them will listen to your orders from now on. Wang Fu looked at his son with some relief. Then he said helplessly, Your old man. Want to rest? We'll talk about it after I've arranged these things. All right, go and do your things. After all, I'm just building an ordinary force. In the end, in the future, when a disaster comes, you experts will still have the final say. So, son, remember, you have to be careful at every step. It's better to be safe than sorry. Once you fall, the forces that your father, have established will definitely collapse. After listening to his father's explanation, Wang Mang was a little surprised. He didn't expect his father to be able to see the crux of the problem at a glance. That's right. Once he really fell, with his father's strength, it was impossible for him to stand firm in the disaster. This was also the reason why Wang Mang bullied the weak and feared the strong. He was cautious and afraid of death, because if he died, or if he fell, he would die. Then, his family would probably not be spared. Therefore, he definitely couldn't die, and he definitely couldn't fall. Of course, in order to reassure his father, Wang Mang immediately smiled and comforted him. Father, don't worry. Your son, I have never fought a battle that I'm not confident in. However, just as he finished speaking, the system's voice sounded in Wang Mang's mind again. Ding! Detected the host's current situation. The host is given the following mission to choose from. Mission number 1. Turn a blind eye to Xiang Yu, who is about to break through to the land immortal realm. Mission time. Choose to obtain it. Mission reward. 5 billion evolution points. Gold treasure chest X1. Mission number 2. Stop Xiang Yu, who is about to break through to the land immortal realm. Mission time. Complete to obtain it. Mission reward. 20 billion evolution points. Diamond treasure chest X1. Mission number 3. Hit Xiang Yu, who is about to break through to the land immortal realm, and kill Xiang Yu. Mission time. Complete to obtain it. Mission reward. 30 billion evolution points. Diamond treasure chest X2. Chapter 386. After hearing the mission notification again, Wang Mang couldn't help but be stunned once again. F***CK. Xiang Yu, this bastard. He actually wants to break through to the Earth immortal realm? Thinking of this, Wang Mang's heart sank. His relationship with Xiang Yu had become very bad. Therefore, it was not an exaggeration to say that there was a huge conflict between the two sides. Therefore, if possible, Wang Mang naturally didn't want to see his enemy become stronger. Moreover, Xiang Yu's trio wanted to attack him not long ago. Therefore, Wang Mang couldn't watch this guy successfully break through to the Earth immortal realm. Therefore, Mission 1 could basically be ruled out. As for the difference between Mission 2 and Mission 3, it was somewhat interesting. Mission 2 was to stop him. Regardless of whether the other party succeeded or not, the mission was considered completed. Mission 3 was to add insult to injury. While this guy was trying to break through to the Earth immortal realm, he would kill Xiang Yu. Almost a moment later, Wang Mang had already made a choice and decision in his heart. Then, Wang Mang said in his heart, System, I choose Mission 3. The next moment, the system's voice sounded frowny-faced ding. Congratulations, host. You have successfully chosen the mission. Please complete the mission as soon as possible to obtain the reward. After listening to the system's voice, Wang Mang heaved a sigh of relief. The 3 missions were actually very easy to choose. Wang Mang had a grudge against Xiang Yu, and the reward for Mission 3 was the most. He wasn't stupid, so he naturally knew how to make a choice. Moreover, Wang Mang belonged to the category where he would either not make a move. Once he made a move, he would kill. He would even kill in one strike, not giving the enemy a chance to turn the tables. At this moment, hearing his son's solemn vow, Wang Fu smiled and nodded. All right, son, you should go to your own things too. Now that the disaster is coming, you're probably even busier than me. Hearing this, Wang Mang quickly nodded and said, Dad, I'll go do my work first. If there's anything important, contact me immediately. After saying that, Wang Mang exchanged a few more pleasantries with his father before leaving. As for this departure, Wang Mang naturally went to Xiang Yu. He was not sure when Xiang Yu would become an Earth Immortal. However, what Wang Mang needed to do now was to find Xiang Yu as soon as possible. Otherwise, if Xiang Yu succeeded in breaking through and passing the lightning tribulation, he would become an earth immortal. Wang Mang probably wanted to die. Others might not know, but how could he not know Xiang Yu? In the nether hell, Xiang Yu's strength was the strongest below the earth immortals. Therefore, if this guy really wanted to become an earth immortal, his chances of success would be quite high. This was because there were only 2 days left before the calamity arrived. Especially the spiritual energy in the air, it was more than 100 times denser than before. Now, be it the animals or trees in this world, as long as they worked hard, they would be able to gain sentience and become spirits. Perhaps this was one of the few benefits brought about by the calamity. The rise of many experts brought about the glory of an era. Half an hour later, Wang Mang had already arrived at Nanyan Province. This Nanyan Province was naturally Xiang Yu's territory. It could be said that Xiang Yu's territory was very close to Wang Mang's territory. After entering Nanyan Province, Wang Mang retracted his aura and turned into a goshawk, wandering around Nanyan Province. This was because Wang Mang could feel Xiang Yu's aura and even Lu Bu and Han Xin's aura. What made Wang Mang depressed was that after wandering around Nanyan Province for a long time, he did not find any trace of Xiang Yu. This made Wang Mang's head hurt. Where did this dog go? Could it be that he went to find another token? In Wang Mang's opinion, Xiang Yu's breakthrough was imminent. In order to be safe, he would definitely look for a token. Moreover, since he was about to pass the lightning tribulation, it meant that he either found a token or forcefully broke through to the earth immortal realm. In Wang Mang's opinion, both possibilities were possible. If he colluded with the old earth god, then it was even more likely. F***. I can't continue to search like this. What if this dog is hiding somewhere to pass the lightning tribulation and quietly break through to the earth immortal realm? At this moment, Wang Mang's heart was extremely irritated and he could not help but mutter. As if thinking of something, Wang Mang's eyes suddenly lit up. He was not sure whether Xiang Yu was hiding in some corner to break through to the next realm. However, Wang Mang already had a way to delay it. This method was not something else. It was the one-time bad luck card. At this point, Wang Mang quickly said in his heart, "System, use the one-time bad luck card. Use target Xiang Yu of the Netherworld." The next moment, the system's voice sounded frowny-facing. "Congratulations to the host. Successfully used the bad luck card. Note: after use, the target will be plagued with bad luck for the next half a day. Light injuries, heavy injuries, death." After listening to the system's voice, only then did Wang Mang burst with joy. Now he could look for Xiang Yu with peace of mind, because regardless of whether Xiang Yu was breaking through to the next realm or preparing to break through to the next realm, he would definitely be affected by his bad luck card. Even if he was breaking through to the next realm, he might be even more unlucky and suffer a backlash. If he was going through the tribulation now, he might be struck to death by lightning. Thinking of this, Wang Mang was in a good mood and began to search for Xiang Yu's traces again. In Wang Mang's opinion, this guy shouldn't have run to some corner of the world to pass the tribulation. No matter how far he ran, he should still be in Dragon Nation. He couldn't really hide in the ocean, right? Wait, go to the ocean. This guy might really be hiding in the ocean. Wang Mang suddenly woke up. On the land of Dragon Nation, there were earth immortal experts of the Netherworld. Then, it was very possible that this guy was hiding somewhere in the boundless ocean to pass the tribulation and break through to the next realm. Thinking of this, Wang Mang suddenly had a direction to search for. He was prepared to search the land of Dragon Nation first. If he couldn't find him, then Wang Mang would go to the ocean to search, because Xiang Yu's strength had already reached the peak of the earth immortal realm. Even in the ocean, there was probably no existence that could threaten him. In comparison, it was very likely that Xiang Yu would choose to pass the tribulation in the ocean if he was on land. Thinking of this, Wang Mang began to search the territory of Dragon Nation. At the same time, what Wang Mang didn't know was, on a lone island in the ocean, Xiang Yu, who was sitting cross-legged and adjusting his state, preparing to break through to the earth immortal realm, suddenly turned pale. In the next moment, he suddenly opened his eyes, his face filled with horror. Damn it! What's going on? Why am I suddenly so uneasy? Because just as he was adjusting his state, everything was fine before. His state was also adjusting and getting better and better. But just now, in his sea of consciousness, the image of him failing to pass the tribulation and dying appeared. This also immediately stopped Xiang Yu, who was preparing to pass the tribulation and break through to the earth immortal realm. Chapter 387. What exactly was going on with this sudden situation? To be honest, Xiang Yu did not know either, because he had never encountered such a situation before. Moreover, the signs were very similar to the legendary situation of qi deviation. Just as Xiang Yu was in a state of shock, Han Xian and Lu Bu, who were guarding Xiang Yu, flew over. They looked at Xiang Yu with a puzzled expression and asked with a frown, "What are you talking about? Xiang Yu, what's wrong? You look so pale. What's going on?" Faced with Han Xian and Lu Bu's questions, Xiang Yu's face was pale. "I've been adjusting my state just now, and my state is getting better and better." But at that moment, this king seemed to have gone mad. This king actually saw the scene of himself failing the tribulation and dying. At this point, Xiang Yu's face was pale, and even his body was trembling. He would not allow himself to fail. He had worked hard for thousands of years to get to where he was today. Therefore, he decided that he could not fail, not even the slightest mistake. Although he did not have a token, he was still trying to break through. This was because he was 80% confident that even without a token, he could still become an Earth Immortal. Naturally, this was due to the fact that his foundation was too solid and his accumulation was too deep. But when he thought everything would go smoothly, he suddenly showed signs of qi deviation. This made Xiang Yu, who was full of confidence, doubt himself. Am I really going to die in the tribulation? Seeing Xiang Yu's confidence wavering, Lu Bu and Han Xian's face darkened. Why don't you talk to the old Earth Lord again? Now he already has the King of Hell's token. You can try to fight for that extra immortal token of the Earth God. Besides, we have betrayed the underworld and joined him. Is he not even willing to give us a token? After hearing Lu Bu and Han Xian's words, Xiang Yu waved his hand and said with a gloomy face, "If he was willing to give it to me, he would have already given it to me. Not to mention the token, I don't even want to ask him to guard me once. This damn guy, I shouldn't have helped him, and I shouldn't have joined him." Hearing this, Lu Bu and Han Xian looked at each other and said in a low voice, "So what should we do now? How confident are you that you will succeed?" After a moment of silence, Xiang Yu said, "There's only a 50% chance. If it weren't for this sudden qi deviation, I would have an 80% chance. Furthermore, I have a premonition that now is not the time for me to break through to the next realm. Let me adjust my condition." Lu Bu and Han Xian could only nod helplessly. They had no other choice. Now, they were burning their boats. They had offended the black and white ghosts of the nether underworld. Furthermore, the black and white impermanents were subordinates of the lords of the 18 levels of hell. Therefore, they could forget about having an easy time. As for the other faction in the netherworld, it was the infernal judges. Oxhead and Horseface were both infernal judges of hell. However, they weren't infernal judges. Furthermore, regardless of whether it was the infernal judges or the Lord of Hell's forces, the infernal judges were the most powerful. Basically, they were very against other forces entering the netherworld. Following the old Earth Lord was equivalent to betraying the netherworld. Therefore, they were indeed cutting off all means of retreat. After Han Xian and Lu Bu once again guarded him nearby, Xiang Yu began to adjust his condition. However, this time, he was adjusting his condition and did not dare to break through to the next realm. In fact, Xiang Yu had already decided not to act rashly for the time being. However, just as he closed his eyes again, a liquid suddenly splashed from the sky and landed on his face. Xiang Yu opened his eyes angrily again, and at the same time, he subconsciously reached out to touch his face. However, when he saw the bird poop on his hand, he was even more stunned. He slowly looked up at the murky, blood-red sky and muttered to himself, "Oh my God, do you want me to die too?" "No, Xiangyu, will never die." At this point, Xiangyu's face twisted. Then, he closed his eyes again and began to adjust his condition. On the other side, Wang Mang had already searched the entire Qi Dragon. However, what made Wang Mang very helpless was that he really couldn't find Xiangyu. It seems that this guy must be undergoing his tribulation in the ocean. Thinking of this, Wang Mang transformed into his huge body, flapped his 8 wings, and soared into the sky, flying in the direction of the ocean. It was worth mentioning that tonight's moon was still as red as blood. However, the blood rain stopped for a while and did not continue to fall. On the contrary, the blood rain was now in a state of intermittent rain. In addition, while Wang Mang was searching for Xiangyu, he had crossed the entire Qi Dragon. He traveled across the entire territory of Qi Dragon and often saw the brightly lit cities. Many people began to cough violently. It was as if everyone had caught a cold in an instant. As for the specific situation, of course Wang Mang knew, but there was nothing he could do, because now the entire world was probably in the same situation. The moon is really bright today, but unfortunately, it's bright as blood. I wonder what it will be like in the next few days. Wang Mang, who was flying at high speed, could not help but sigh as he thought of this. At the same time, Wang Mang soon arrived at the ocean. But what made Wang Mang helpless and angry was that he searched from night to dawn. He did not know how many seas he had searched, but he still could not find any trace of Xiangyu. Where are these 3 bastards hiding? At this moment, under the scorching sun, Wang Mang, who was flying above the ocean, could not help but feel depressed. The weather today was not bad. This was also the first time Wang Mang saw the sun appear normally after half a year. But Wang Mang was not in the mood to appreciate the good weather. Just as Wang Mang was feeling depressed, Wang Mang suddenly saw that in the distance, on the distant surface of the sea, enormous black clouds had actually gathered. At first glance, it seemed that somewhere in the sea beyond the edge of the ocean, the sky was already covered by dark clouds. This is the tribulation lightning. After looking at the sky in front of him, Wang Mang could not help but exclaim. He had seen a few tribulations, so of course, he could analyze whether it was the weather or the scene of the tribulation. In just a moment, Wang Mang had basically figured it out. Could it be that this damn Xiangyu was already going through the tribulation? Thinking of this, Wang Mang immediately used one step to horizon and rushed towards the place where the strange phenomenon appeared in the distant sky. A few minutes later, Wang Mang had already arrived at the sky above the sea with dark clouds. Wang Mang saw at a glance that there was an island in the center of the sea with dark clouds. And the place where the dark clouds and the rolling thunder gathered was right above the island. Because compared to the dark clouds in the surrounding sea, the sky near the island was completely black. The dark clouds that covered an area of dozens of kilometers were simply too vast and spectacular. At the same time, Wang Mang also found the aura of Xiangyu and the other 2 nearby. After Wang Mang quietly sneaked onto the island. Inside a mountain forest, Wang Mang saw Xiangyu, who was sitting cross-legged, and Han Xian and Lu Bu, who were guarding Xiangyu. Just as Wang Mang was about to make a move, suddenly, there was a sudden clap of thunder in the sky. The horrifying tribulation lightning in the sky had already arrived. Seeing this scene, Wang Mang's face could not help but turn gloomy. If he made a move now, it would be too late. However, what was worth rejoicing over was that this fellow had only just begun. Thinking of this, Wang Mang secretly breathed a sigh of relief. Finally, he was not too late. Soon after, Wang Mang inwardly sneered and thought in his heart, "System, use the one-time bad luck card again. Use target, the Nether Hell expert Xiangyu." Chapter 388. In the next moment, the system's voice was heard. "Ding! Congratulations, host. You have successfully used the one-time bad luck card. After listening to the system's voice, Wang Mang heaved a sigh of relief. Although he did not know how Xiangyu managed to survive his last bad luck card, he had no idea how Xiangyu managed to survive. But Wang Mang guessed that it was very likely that this guy didn't do anything after he used the bad luck card. After the bad luck card's duration ended, Xiangyu began to adjust his condition and continued to break through to the Earth God realm. But things were different now. Xiangyu was now in the critical state of breaking through to the Earth God realm. Therefore, Wang Mang did not believe that Xiangyu would be fine. Thinking of this, Wang Mang began to wait and see, because now that the Thunder Tribulation had begun, it was not something that he could interfere with. After all, this was the Thunder Tribulation to become an Earth God realm expert. Just by looking at the dark clouds and the sea of thunder, Xiangyu could tell that the Thunder Tribulation had turned into a sea of thunder. Wang Mang knew that Xiangyu would not have it easy. Not to mention, Wang Mang was eyeing them like a tiger watching its prey. He would not let Xiangyu succeed in his Thunder Tribulation. At the same time, Xiangyu was in the middle of his Thunder Tribulation. His originally confident face was suddenly filled with fear, because the strange feeling from yesterday appeared again. Once this feeling appeared, it immediately made him very uneasy. He was afraid that at this critical moment, it would affect his Thunder Tribulation again. If he failed to pass the Thunder Tribulation, he did not dare to imagine the consequences. But what made Xiangyu collapse was that he could not stop it now, because the Thunder Tribulation had begun. The Thunder Tribulation had begun to fall from the sky. When the terrifying lightning struck his body, Xiangyu became even more frightened, because the Thunder Tribulation was too terrifying. When it struck his body, it was as if it was going to smash him into pieces. Not only that, the intense pain caused his face to contort in agony. Of course, Xiangyu was not an ordinary person. Even if the Thunder Tribulation had become even more terrifying, he still gritted his teeth and endured the Thunder Tribulation. Because if he failed to pass the Thunder Tribulation, he would most likely die. Therefore, he would not allow himself to fail the Thunder Tribulation. Suddenly, something happened that made Xiangyu even more terrified. In his mind, the scene of him falling under the lightning tribulation a day ago appeared once again. This lingering shadow was like a film, constantly replaying in his consciousness. At the same time, there seemed to be all kinds of evil voices ringing in his ears. Just accept your fate. It's impossible for you to break through to the land immortal realm. You are destined to die under the lightning tribulation. Don't struggle in vain. Die quickly. You're destined to die anyway, so why struggle? You will die. You will definitely die. You've already seen your end. This nightmarish voice, along with the image of himself falling under the heavenly tribulation, seemed to instantly shatter his mind. Xiangyu, who was still struggling to withstand the lightning tribulation, was now in a worse situation. Xiangyu's eyes were bloodshot. He shot up to the sky and roared, "Brother Chun, I won't die. Xiangyu, will never die." Xiangyu, who was roaring furiously, had messed up long hair. Under the lightning tribulation, he looked even more insane. However, the murderous intent in his bloodshot eyes was very obvious. He roared, "Heavenly Dragon Halberd." As soon as he finished speaking, a large halberd appeared in his hand. Then, Xiangyu shot up to the sky with the Heavenly Dragon Halberd in his hand. While the lightning struck him, Xiangyu continued to stab at the dark clouds in the sky, as if he had gone mad. It was as if Xiangyu wanted to compete with the heavens. Seeing this scene, Wang Mang could be said to be completely stunned. What the F***CK? Isn't Xiangyu undergoing the Thunder Tribulation? Why'd he go crazy? Could it be that my one-time bad luck card is so powerful? Looking at Xiangyu in the sky, who seemed to have gone mad, Wang Mang was extremely shocked. This guy is really fighting with the Thunder Tribulation. This was because Xiangyu used to fight the Thunder Tribulation head-on. But now, he was fighting with a weapon. However, he could not escape the fate of being struck by the lightning. Not only that, but the scene of the lightning gathering was even more terrifying. It was as if Xiangyu was provoking the Thunder Tribulation. The thunder tribulation that was already gathering continued to gather in an even more terrifying direction. This was because under the one-time bad luck card, Xiangyu's luck was temporarily at 0. In other words, he did not have any luck. Now, he was trying to fight with the heavens. Of course, the heavens felt it. This was something that could not be disbelieved. Why did Wang Mang say so? Because when he killed Lu Xiao, the heavens seemed to have a consciousness. Back then, the heavens had given him quite a heavy blow. It almost killed Wang Mang. Xianyu was in such a state now. He was obviously going through the thunder tribulation, but he was cursing the heavens and trying to fight with the heavens. This might be the reason why the thunder tribulation became even more terrifying. Of course, in Wang Mang's opinion, this was most likely the effect of the one-time bad luck card. At the same time, Lu Bu and Han Xian, who were guarding Xiangyu, could not help but be worried when they saw Xiangyu, who was like a crazy demon. They had formed a community of interests. Once Xiangyu failed the thunder tribulation, it would be a heavy blow to them. What made them feel even more incredulous was that Xiangyu seemed to have fallen into a state of qi deviation. This should not be happening. This was because Xiangyu's accumulation was among the three of them. In fact, he was the one with the most accumulation in the entire netherworld. In terms of foundation, Xiangyu's accumulation was the most solid in the netherworld. But in the end, when Xiangyu was going through the thunder tribulation, he actually went into qi deviation. This was too unbelievable. Was the thunder tribulation of an earth immortal really so terrifying? For a moment, Han Xian and Lu Bu looked at each other, their faces full of worry. Not only were they worried about Xiangyu, but they were also worried about themselves. Once Xiangyu failed to break through to the earth immortal realm, then they would definitely not dare to break through to the earth immortal realm. After all, compared to Xiangyu, they knew that their foundation were not as good as his. But what they did not know was that under normal circumstances, the thunder tribulation would definitely not increase again. Once the thunder tribulation condensed and formed, it would not be superimposed a second time. This was completely the reason why Xiangyu, who was like a crazy demon in front of them, was provoking the heavens. Of course, they also did not know that under normal circumstances, Xiangyu would definitely not go into qi deviation. All of this was due to Wang Mang secretly using the bad luck card. At this moment, seeing Xiangyu's foolish behavior, who was provoking the heavens, Wang Mang laughed in his heart, taking pleasure in his misfortune. He was also a pseudo-earth immortal expert. Therefore, naturally, he also felt it. This thunder tribulation had become even more terrifying. It was probably because Xiangyu was provoking the heavens. At this point, Wang Mang was even more high-spirited in his heart. Xiangyu, now you know the consequences of offending me? You dare to go against me. I'm afraid you don't know how to write the word death. Chapter 389. If Wang Mang wasn't sure if he could defeat Xiangyu before, then the current Wang Mang could confidently say that he could defeat him. First, whether or not Xiangyu could survive the lightning tribulation of the land immortal was still uncertain. Second, even if Xiangyu was lucky enough to survive the lightning tribulation, Wang Mang would still kill Xiangyu. So, basically, Xiangyu would not be able to escape death. Moreover, Wang Mang's strength had once again soared, not to mention Xiangyu's weakened state after the tribulation. Even if Xiangyu was at his peak state, Wang Mang was still confident that he could suppress him. In a situation where their cultivation levels were not too different, Wang Mang did not think that Xiangyu could defeat him. Don't forget, when Wang Mang's cultivation was 8,500 years old, he was not much weaker than a pseudo-land immortal. Now that his strength had soared, Wang Mang's strength was needless to say. Now, Wang Mang no longer put these pseudo-land immortals in his eyes. Unless the other party attacked in groups of 3 or 5, Wang Mang was not afraid of anyone at all. When had Wang Mang ever been afraid of anyone? Wang Mang, was unyielding. After being narcissistic for a while, Wang Mang looked at the even more terrifying lightning tribulation and couldn't bear to look at it. It could be said that, at this moment, in the center of the island where Xiangyu was, it was basically covered by lightning. Bolts of lightning were like lightning whips, constantly descending and whipping at Xiangyu. The lightning struck and whipped, causing Wang Mang's scalp to go numb. This was simply much more miserable than when he had killed Lu Xiu back then. Moreover, the terror of this lightning tribulation was not comparable to when he killed Lu Xiu. After all, this was a tribulation that land immortals had to suffer. The power was naturally incomparable. Look at how miserable Xiangyu is now. He was struck until black gas was coming out of his body. Even the black gas was being struck out. Oh, that's not right. It should be described as ghost chi and yin chi. With every strike of the lightning, the ghostly aura around Xiangyu's body dissipated slightly. Wang Mang even suspected that if Xiangyu could not make it, he would not even be able to become a ghost. At this moment, Wang Mang suddenly heard a shrill scream. Xiangyu fell from the sky and landed on the island in a pitiful state. But the lightning tribulation was still not over. The lightning tribulation struck for an entire morning before finally dispersing. After seeing the lightning tribulation dissipate, Wang Mang was also a little bewildered. Was Xiangyu killed by the lightning tribulation, or had he successfully passed the tribulation? If Wang Mang was the one facing this lightning tribulation, he had a 70% chance of surviving. However, Xiangyu's situation was hard to predict. First, he went berserk. Now, his lightning tribulation was upgraded. If it was an ordinary pseudo-terrestrial immortal expert, they might have already died. However, Wang Mang was not sure about Xiangyu's words. After all, Xiangyu was the most powerful person below the immortal level. Just as Wang Mang was guessing, Lu Bu and Han Xian, who were guarding Xiangyu, had already rushed to the place where Xiangyu fell. When Wang Mang saw this, he silently prepared himself for what would happen if Xiangyu was still alive. Then, Wang Mang would naturally have to take action, because the effect of the bad luck card had already worn off, and the lightning tribulation had also ended. But in the next moment, Wang Mang heard a wild and weak laugh coming from afar. Aha! In the face of absolute power, any nightmare is not worth mentioning. After hearing this voice, Wang Mang was shocked. Damn, Xiangyu had actually succeeded. With his bad luck card, he actually succeeded in passing the tribulation. Oh my god, Xiangyu, this dog is really something. Just as expected, with the help of Lu Bu and Han Xian, the charred Xiangyu walked out of the ruins. Then Lu Bu and Han Xian helped Xiangyu to sit down and guard him. As for Xiangyu, he sat cross-legged and began to meditate and heal his injuries. You still want to heal your injuries? Do you think I'll give you the chance? Seeing this scene, Wang Mang couldn't help sneering inwardly. Then, Wang Mang turned into a little bug and flew towards Xiangyu. When he was less than 500 meters away from Xiangyu and the other two, seeing that the three of them were still not vigilant, Wang Mang was even more delighted. Once Wang Mang got close, Xiangyu would definitely die. This was because Wang Mang had also seen Xiangyu's condition clearly. He was so weak that even his breath was extremely weak. This condition was not much better than the lightning tribulation of the Fox Emperor that he had encountered before. When he was only 200 meters away, Wang Mang quickly transformed into his original form, opened his mouth, and used his divine power, destructive laser beam. Shit, get out of the way. Seeing the divine power coming at them, Lu Bu and Han Xian quickly reacted and were shocked. This was because they did not expect Wang Mang to be lying in ambush here. Not only that, after sensing Wang Mang's terrifying attack, Lu Bu and Han Xian instinctively retreated. This immediately exposed Xiangyu to danger. In addition, Xiangyu was already extremely weak. After seeing this terrifying divine ability, he became even more terrified and roared, "You're too weak. No, save me." Unfortunately, by the time Han Xian and Lu Bu reacted, it was already too late. Rumble. It was accompanied by an earth-shattering sound. The place where Xiangyu was standing turned into a pile of rubble. Perhaps Xiang Yu did not even dream that he would be killed by Wang Mang after successfully passing the lightning tribulation. One should know that he had successfully passed the lightning tribulation. Once he recovered from his injuries, he would be a true Earth God-level powerhouse. If Xiang Yu recovered now, he would have the strength of an Earth God-level powerhouse. In that case, Wang Mang's divine ability attack was simply not worth mentioning to him. But the problem was that Xiang Yu had no chance at all, because he had already died under Wang Mang's divine power attack. It could be said that Xiang Yu's death was the most humiliating. At the same time, looking at the place where Xiang Yu was standing, Wang Mang was also very surprised. He did not expect that he would be able to kill Xiang Yu so easily. F***CK, it's over just like that? I killed an Earth God-level powerhouse just like that? To be honest, Wang Mang felt that it was extremely unreal. This was even smoother than he had imagined. Thinking of this, Wang Mang could not help but laugh out loud. Ah-ha-ha, that's it. At the same time, the system's voice also sounded frowny-faced. Ding. Congratulations, host. Mission successfully completed. Ding. Congratulations, host. Obtained 30 billion evolution points. Ding. Congratulations, host. Obtained diamond treasure chest X2. Ding. The accumulation has met the evolution conditions. Begin evolution. Chapter 390. After listening to the system's voice, Wang Mang could not help but be overjoyed. The mission this time was surprisingly smooth. At the same time, Han Xian and Lu Bu were stunned when they saw this. They looked at the ruins where Xiang Yu was in disbelief. After regaining their senses, Han Xian and Lu Bu were furious. They looked at Wang Mang with a ferocious and angry face. It's you. How dare you hide and ambush us? Damn it. How dare you kill Xiang Yu? You really deserve to die. The reason why the two of them were so angry was because Xiang Yu had passed the lightning tribulation. This meant that one of the three of them had become an Earth immortal. At that time, with Xiang Yu's help and support, naturally, they would be able to become Earth immortals more easily. But in the end, when they were wild with joy, and even when they were unprepared, Wang Mang had sneakily attacked and killed the extremely weak Xiang Yu. At that time, Xiang Yu was too weak after passing the lightning tribulation. Even a powerful demon could kill him. But who would have thought that they would still be ambushed when they were hiding in the boundless ocean to pass the lightning tribulation? Moreover, Han Xian and Lu Bu guessed that Wang Mang had been lying in ambush for a long time. He was waiting for this opportunity to strike. Hearing this, Wang Mang did not care. He smiled coldly and said, I killed Xiang Yu. What can you do to me? If you want to fight with your life on the line, you can give it a try. After that, Wang Mang flapped his 8 wings arrogantly and soared into the sky. Seeing Wang Mang leave arrogantly, Lu Bu and Han Xian looked at each other and finally hesitated. They could feel that Wang Mang's aura was not weaker than any of them. In fact, it was not weaker than Xiang Yu at his peak. Therefore, they also knew that it was impossible to take down Wang Mang. Especially Wang Mang's speed, they had already experienced it. What should we do now? Are we just going to watch this guy leave arrogantly? At this moment, Lu Bu's complexion was ugly as he asked with a gloomy face. Han Xian looked at Lu Bu helplessly. What else can we do? Wasting time fighting with this guy? Let's not talk about whether we can take him down now that his strength has increased greatly. Even if we can defeat him, is it possible to kill him? Haven't you experienced his speed? If he wanted to run, even an Earth immortal wouldn't be able to catch up, let alone us. Now that Xiang Yu is dead, it's better for us to find our own way out. I have to think of a way to break through to become an immortal on land as soon as possible. Besides, do you think it's worth wasting our time for a worthless dead person? After hearing Han Xian's words, Lu Bu was speechless. Although what the other party said was incomparably cold and realistic, it was the truth. Although they did not want Xiang Yu to die, he was already dead. Therefore, they naturally wouldn't waste time to seek justice for the dead. Oh no, It should be called a dead ghost. I can't even be a ghost anymore. After a short discussion, Han Xin and Lu Bu left with ugly expressions. At the same time, on the other side, Wang Meng. He was on his way back to his territory, because after tomorrow, the disaster of heaven and earth would arrive. Therefore, for safety's sake, he would go to his father's place to oversee the entire province. Only half an hour later, Wang Meng arrived at Yizun City. Similarly, Wang Meng's huge body was also flapping his 8 wings in the sky above the city. Many people on the streets couldn't help but look up at Wang Meng after seeing Wang Meng. Among these people, no matter who it was, after seeing Wang Meng, they all knelt down and bowed to Wang Meng. Looking at the black mass of people kneeling on the ground and bowing to him piously, Wang Meng felt very helpless. These guys still didn't listen to him. Although they were very respectful to him, he obviously didn't take them seriously in the last interview. However, Wang Meng still wanted to remind these people again, whether they would listen or not. After all, they were bowing to him and worshiping him as if he was a god. Wang Meng could only remind them as much as he could. With this thought in mind, Wang Meng looked down from the sky and said, "Don't worry. I, the guardian god, said that in the next few days, don't go out. It's best to stay at home. Also, tomorrow night, if you don't want to die, don't sleep. Be vigilant of the people around you, even your parents and wife." Many people kneeling on the street were very confused after hearing this. Some of the braver people couldn't help but ask loudly, "Lord Guardian God, why is that? Lord Guardian God, is there really going to be a huge disaster?" "Yes. Lord Guardian Deity, will someone turn into a zombie? How is that possible? We will do whatever Lord Guardian God says." "Lord Guardian God, can you tell us what the future will be like?" Facing the guesses and questions of the people, Wang Meng was a little surprised. He didn't expect that someone would really guess that zombies would appear in the future. However, Wang Meng didn't hide it. He looked at the people on the street below and nodded slightly. "That's right. I, the Guardian God, predict that tomorrow night, some people will become zombies. So, everyone stay at home. If anyone in your family becomes a zombie, pick up a weapon and deal with it." After that, Wang Meng flew straight into the sky and into the distance. An hour later, Wang Meng had already spread the news to all the cities. Moreover, Wang Meng also told the officials of the Qi Dragon Kingdom and asked them to be responsible for notifying people. After doing all this, Wang Meng returned to where his father was. From Wang Meng's point of view, he should have already fulfilled his duty. After all, Wang Meng couldn't tell which of these people would become zombies. Moreover, Wang Meng didn't know if there were any monsters that hadn't appeared after the disaster. In the blink of an eye, another day passed. The sun was exceptionally bright today. The weather was also exceptionally clear. The only fly in the ointment was... Now, people everywhere were coughing, and the coughing was getting worse. But these coughing people, without exception, had all kinds of self-defense weapons. In addition, Wang Meng also noticed, ever since he spread the news, there were more men on the street. The order was also more chaotic. In the afternoon sun was about to set, and the setting sun was bright red and beautiful. At the same time, the system's voice sounded in Wang Meng's mind, frowny face, warm reminder. Countdown to disaster. 5 hours, 59 minutes, 38 seconds. Chapter 392. After listening to the system's voice, Wang Meng couldn't help but be stunned. What kind of mission was this? To be honest, Wang Meng still couldn't figure it out. What was this so-called otherworld demon fetus? Was it a product of the disaster? However, this mission reward was too crazy, especially the last mission to clean up the otherworld demon fetus all over the world. It directly gave him 99 free evolution opportunities on the spot. To be honest, if he could evolve 99 times for free, what level would his strength reach? It was simply unimaginable, not to mention anything else. His cultivation would reach the level of 20,000 years. Therefore, although this mission seemed to have a very generous reward, but Wang Meng didn't think it would be so easy to complete. As for the first mission, to directly ignore it, if he could, Wang Mang would like to ignore it. But the problem was that the reward was too little. Moreover, from the tone of the system's notification, it could be said that the otherworld demon fetus had been born in the whole world. Even prefectures and provinces had been born, and other places had them too. Therefore, the first mission could basically be ruled out. As for the second mission, the reward of 50 billion. To be honest, Wang Mang felt that it was not bad. It seemed that the difficulty of the mission shouldn't be too high. Thinking of this, Wang Mang was a little tempted, because the third and fourth missions were more difficult. The third mission was to destroy all the demon fetus in the Dragon Nation. Wang Mang didn't think it was possible. It was impossible for him to complete it in a short time. Thinking of this, Wang Mang had already made his choice. Then, Wang Mang silently said in his heart, "System, I choose the second mission." The next moment, the system's voice sounded. "Ding! Congratulations to the host. You have successfully chosen the mission. Please complete the mission as soon as possible to receive the reward." After listening to the system's voice, Wang Mang finally breathed a sigh of relief. But what Wang Mang didn't know was, he was destined to not be able to complete this mission, because Wang Mang would never have thought that the demon fetus in the future world would be one of the most terrifying existences after the disaster. After choosing the mission, Wang Mang prepared to look around and try his luck. He wanted to see if he could find the so-called devil fetus. With that thought, Wang Mang transformed into a huge body and soared into the sky with his 8 wings. He began to search the provinces. Half an hour later, however, Wang Mang never expected that. Originally, he had not gained anything, but he had discovered something unusual in Yonggui City. In the middle of an abandoned construction site in Yonggui City, a group of people were gathered together. Wang Mang saw a black, egg-shaped egg that was 10 meters tall. Moreover, as soon as he got close to the black meatball, Wang Mang could hear a strong heartbeat coming from the black meatball. Other than that, Wang Mang carefully examined the round meatball. He noticed that there was blood squirming on it, as well as strange black stripes. Just as Wang Mang was surprised, a weak voice came from the meatball. "Friend from this world, you are very powerful. Can you protect Xiao Bu from being born?" Hearing that, Wang Mang was stunned. His deep eyes stared at the meatball without any ripples. But when he felt the amazing energy aura of this meatball, Wang Mang felt even more frightened, because the aura of this thing was very strong. It was so strong that even Wang Mang could not help but feel shocked. Judging from the aura, this thing was only in an egg-shaped state, but it was not much worse than a pseudo-land immortal. Could this be the so-called devil fetus? Thinking of this, Wang Mang was surprised. At the same time, he quietly used information detection. The next moment, the information of this 10-meter-tall black meatball appeared in front of him. Target: unknown devil fetus. Level: peak stage 2. Potential: peak stage 3. Species: unknown. Origin: another world. After reading this information, Wang Mang was even more surprised, because this thing was really similar to what he had guessed. This thing was really a devil fetus. Moreover, its strength was too strong. This was only in the egg-shaped state, but its strength had already reached the peak of stage 2. What was the peak of stage 2? Stage 2 here was a standard to measure the strength of the myriad worlds. The peak of stage 2 was equivalent to a pseudo-land immortal. The threshold of stage 3 was that one had to be a land immortal to be considered stage 3. More importantly, the potential of this thing was enormous. After it was born in the future, it might even reach the peak of stage 3. What kind of concept was the peak of stage 3? What kind of strength was it? To be honest, Wang Mang did not know either. But the Sea Dragon King had once said, in countless years, their sea dragon race had only reached the peak of stage 3 when they were at their most powerful. Therefore, Wang Mang only thought about it for a moment. He could already guess how terrifying this thing was. Thinking of this, Wang Mang's eyes were filled with killing intent. After all, this thing was a product of another world. Moreover, it was something under the disaster of heaven and earth. Naturally, it was not a good thing. But right at this moment, The devil fetus egg seemed to have sensed Wang Mang's killing intent and immediately began to change. The shape of a meatball turned into a black egg that was lifeless like a stone. Not only that, Wang Mang also discovered that the devil fetus meatball, which could still hear the heartbeat of a heart, had turned into a stone ball. Seeing this scene, Wang Mang was instantly amused. This guy thought that he couldn't do anything to him just because he had turned into a stone ball? Thinking of this, Wang Mang immediately sneered and transformed into his huge body. Then, Wang Mang opened his bloody mouth and directly used his supernatural power, destructive laser, rumble. After the destructive laser hit the devil fetus, an earth-shattering boom was also heard. The surroundings were filled with smoke and dust. But after the smoke and dust dissipated, something that shocked Wang Mang happened. The black stone egg was actually intact. Yes, in the face of Wang Mang's all-out attack, the devil fetus, which had turned into a black stone egg, was actually not damaged at all. Right at this moment, a triumphant voice came from the devil fetus. Friend from this world, you can't kill Xiao Bu. Xiao Bu's characteristic is that his defense is indestructible. After Xiao Bu is born, only a stage 4 powerhouse can kill me. After Xiao Bu reaches stage 4, only a stage 5 powerhouse can kill Xiao Bu. After hearing the devil fetus's triumphant provocation, Wang Mang suddenly laughed. Damn it, I don't believe it. You, a devil fetus, can't be killed. Thinking of this, Wang Mang attacked again. But in the following time, no matter how Wang Mang used his supernatural power. In fact, after Wang Mang had unleashed all of his strength, Wang Mang's expression changed drastically. After more than 2 hours, he still didn't hurt the black devil fetus at all. Wang Mang, who was puzzled, really couldn't understand. This guy was just a meatball. How could it resist all of his supernatural powers? Moreover, under his supernatural powers, it didn't suffer any damage at all. Was this the horror of the devil fetus? If every devil fetus was so terrifying, Wang Mang didn't dare to imagine the consequences. By then, the future world would probably be the devil fetus world. Right at this moment, Wang Mang was still in shock. The triumphant voice came from the devil fetus again. It's useless, you can't kill Xiao Bu. Xiao Bu completely ignores the attacks of any stage 3 powerhouse. Unless you are a stage 4 powerhouse now, you can't kill Xiao Bu. Chapter 393. Originally, Wang Mang was already on the verge of collapse. After all, he had already used all his divine abilities. But in the end, he still couldn't do anything to this thing. Now, after hearing this devil fetus' triumphant voice of leveling up, Wang Mang couldn't help but be speechless. But Wang Mang was more shocked, because if Emotion was right, then this devil fetus was really too heaven-defying. Peak stage 2 strength, a stage 3 powerhouse couldn't do anything. Only a stage 4 powerhouse could do that. To be honest, how heaven-defying was this ability? It was so heaven-defying that Wang Mang was a little jealous. However, Wang Mang didn't believe this devil fetus's words. On the contrary, Wang Mang hurriedly said in his heart, "System, is this guy's words true?" The next moment, the system's voice sounded frowny face warm reminder. If the host's strength reaches the peak of stage 3, it will be possible. After listening to the system's voice, Wang Mang, who was still a little doubtful, was completely stunned. Damn, this was actually true? If the system didn't answer, Wang Mang would have thought that this guy was bragging. But even the system said so. Then Wang Mang knew that this guy was obviously not bragging. Thinking of this, Wang Mang was so jealous that he couldn't speak. This kind of attack that directly ignored any powerhouse of the same level was too heaven-defying. If every devil fetus was so strong, then the world was definitely hopeless. Thinking of this, Wang Mang's heart sank as he looked at the devil fetus in front of him. But Wang Mang soon found something unusual. This devil fetus seemed to still be in the form of a meatball egg. In addition, Wang Mang could feel that this devil fetus was absorbing the spiritual energy of heaven and earth all the time. Wait, could he stop the devil fetus from absorbing the spiritual energy of heaven and earth? Thinking of this, Wang Mang's eyes suddenly lit up. But Wang Mang's joy didn't last long, and he immediately felt a little disappointed. This was because this was indeed a feasible method. But the problem was that they could only do so if they brought this fellow to a completely isolated place. Otherwise, how could he stop this thing from absorbing spiritual energy? Thinking of this, Wang Mang's head hurt even more. At this moment, the devil fetus laughed weakly again. Friend of this world, since you can't kill me, why don't you help me come into being? At this moment, Wang Mang finally couldn't help but ask, how many consciousnesses do you have? Are they twins? Not long after, the devil fetus said in a young and confused voice, we're twins? Xiaobu is Xiaobu. Twins means that there are two lives in one egg. Wang Mang explained. He realized that it was more comfortable to talk to this young voice. The tender voice rang out again. Oh, I see. Yes, that's not it. It's an egg and a body. It's the great demon, and I'm Little Boo. The great demon is very bad. He always wants to steal Little Boo's body. Hearing this, Wang Mang was even more confused. What the hell was this? One body with two consciousnesses? After thinking of this, Wang Mang immediately understood what it was talking about. If he guessed correctly, this was the only explanation that could explain it. However, Wang Mang couldn't be bothered to think about anything else. What he was thinking about was how to solve this problem. After all, it couldn't be killed or destroyed. It couldn't be left here forever, right? Moreover, God knew how terrifying this fellow would be after it came into being. In addition, Wang Mang was now in a hurry to find the other devil fetuses. He was afraid that every devil fetus was so powerful. If that was the case, Wang Mang didn't dare to imagine it. Why don't I throw this thing somewhere else? Thinking of this, Wang Mang's eyes lit up. Then, Wang Mang turned into a 100-meter-tall giant. Then, Wang Mang came in front of the round-bodied devil fetus. At this time, a young and confused voice came out of the devil fetus. Hey, what are you doing? Are you going to help Little Boo come into being? Wang Mang ignored the young and confused voice. On the contrary, Wang Mang used all his strength to pick up the round devil fetus. Get out of here. As soon as the voice fell, Wang Mang threw the round devil fetus into the air, and at the same time, shot up into the sky. Then, Wang Mang turned into his huge body, and his huge tail viciously whipped the round devil fetus in the air. The devil fetus flew out and disappeared into the night. At the same time, they vaguely heard a young and angry voice. You bad guy, Little Boo will definitely come back. After hearing this voice, Wang Mang was speechless. He just wanted to throw this troublesome thing as far away as possible, because Wang Mang had no way to deal with it, unless a Stage 4 powerhouse appeared and directly destroyed this devil fetus. But the problem was that there were no Stage 4 powerhouses on Earth. The strongest among them was only an Earth immortal who had barely reached the threshold of Stage 3. After getting rid of this guy, Wang Mang was relieved. At the same time, he continued to search for traces of the devil fetus in Guizhou province. Heaven rewards those who persevere. Half an hour later, Wang Mang found the second devil fetus in a primitive forest in the Zhou Gui immortal realm. This devil fetus was only 8 meters tall, and it was oval-shaped, looking like an egg. Compared to the black devil fetus, this devil fetus color was different. It was a devil fetus that was crimson in color and looked like lava. But its aura was no worse than the previous devil fetus. The incomparably terrifying aura caused Wang Mang to be incomparably shocked. After getting close, Wang Mang could even feel the high temperature of magma. However, to Wang Mang, this kind of temperature was simply not worth mentioning. After all, Wang Mang's sea of flames of destruction was no worse than this devil fetus. Moreover, the reason why this devil fetus was discovered by Wang Mang, the main reason was that in the dark night, the light that was like red magma was too eye-catching. Little snake, submit to the Red Flame Dragon. Our great Red Flame Dragon clan is a powerful universe clan. As long as you assist this dragon in its birth, you can become a subordinate clan of the Red Flame Dragon clan. At this time, the red egg-shaped devil fetus that was like magma came with an incomparably arrogant voice. Hearing this, Wang Mang sneered. In the next moment, Wang Mang opened his bloody mouth and used eternal frost. The devil fetus, which was originally as red as magma, was instantly frozen by the eternal frost after the Abhijna was unleashed. After struggling for a few minutes, the red devil fetus finally broke through the eternal frost. At the same time, an exasperated voice came from the red devil fetus. "You ignorant country turtle snake from Earthworld, what are you doing? I am the great Red Flame Dragon clan. You should assist me in my birth." Chapter 394. After hearing this guy's voice, Wang Mang was even more speechless. But what made Wang Mang happy was that this red, egg-like demon fetus was much easier to deal with than the previous black demon fetus. This was because after Wang Mang used the Eternal Frost, he found that his divine ability had a great effect on this red demon fetus. Even the flowing lava above the devil fetus seemed to have solidified, and its aura seemed to have weakened. This proved that this red demon fetus could indeed be dealt with, unlike the previous demon fetus that couldn't be destroyed at all. This caused Wang Mang to inwardly sigh in relief. Faced with this guy's almost brainless words, Wang Mang couldn't help but sneer. This guy really had a sense of superiority even before he was born. He wanted him to help him be born. Thinking of this, Wang Mang suddenly sneered and said, "You think you're worthy?" Wang Mang's words completely enraged the red egg-shaped demon fetus. An angry roar came from inside. "Do you want to become a great dragon? In the universe, the Snake Clan is the largest subsidiary clan of the Dragon Clan. You should be like those powerful subsidiary snake clans and strive to become a subsidiary clan of the great Flaming Red Dragon Clan. Only then can you become a member of the Dragon Clan with my help. The Snake Clan and the Python Clan are inferior clans in front of the Dragon Clan." Hearing this, Wang Mang was stunned. This guy had a great sense of superiority. Wang Mang even suspected that this guy might not be so superior when he saw other clans. But he obviously looked down on the Python Clan and the Snake Clan and had a completely superior attitude. This might have something to do with his origin. Or it could be said that the Flaming Red Dragon Clan did have many subsidiary clans of the Python Clan. However, this didn't seem to have much to do with Wang Mang. Thinking of this, Wang Mang sneered and said, "Sorry, I don't want to become a dragon. I think this is pretty good. Now, let me send you on your way." After saying that, Wang Mang once again used his ability, Destructive Laser. In the next moment, a laser beam shot out from Wang Mang's bloody mouth. It moved as fast as lightning, instantly striking the scarlet demon fetus, Rumble, along with the divine ability skill. After the rising smoke and dust dissipated, Wang Mang saw that the crimson lava on the surface of the crimson devil fetus had become even thinner. Apart from that, there were also many cracks on the crimson devil fetus. Seeing this, Wang Mang immediately became excited. He was even confident that he could completely destroy this devil fetus after casting a few more spells. Just as Wang Mang was about to attack, the devil fetus suddenly screamed in horror. "Stop! Stop it! Don't mess around!" Wang Mang, who was about to make a move, was stunned for a moment. "Why aren't you showing off anymore? You can try and see if I can destroy you." Hearing this, a terrified voice came from the crimson devil fetus. "You and I have no quarrel. Why do you want to destroy me? Moreover, I am not the only flaming dragon who has descended to this world. If you kill me, my brothers won't let you get away with it." Hearing that the crimson devil fetus still had the guts to threaten him, Wang Mang was so angry that he laughed. "Good heavens, it still dares to threaten me at this point. How dare it?" Thinking of this, Wang Mang immediately got ready to attack again. The crimson devil fetus immediately gave in and said in a terrified voice, "Stop! Stop it. Let's talk nicely. What the hell do you want? You don't have to make life difficult for us flaming dragons. Hearing this, Wang Mang pondered for a moment, then said, What do I say? Answer me honestly. After a moment of silence, the crimson devil fetus said helplessly, Okay, say it. How did you all descend to this world? How many devil fetus have descended to this world? Other than you, devil fetus, what other races have come to this world? Hearing this, the crimson devil fetus said helplessly, I don't know either. I was still in the depths of the flaming dragon tribe's nest. In the blink of an eye, I appeared in this world. I don't even know why I am here. Moreover, this world is very strange. I can feel that there are many eggs of races that I have never seen before. Moreover, I am just an egg. How would I know so much? Wang Mang fell into deep thought after hearing the words of the crimson demon fetus. He could tell that this guy was not lying. Then there was a problem. These devil fetus were good. Even the impending disaster of the world. Who the hell made this happen? The world couldn't have changed for no reason, right? Thinking up to this point, Wang Mang was even more puzzled. Unfortunately, Wang Mang couldn't figure it out even after thinking for a long time. Even after Wang Mang asked the system asked him for evolution points. Moreover, the evolution points required to ask questions were very large. Wang Mang finally gave up the idea of asking. Just as Wang Mang was about to get rid of this devil fetus, suddenly, an idea flashed through his mind. Eating this thing should be equivalent to swallowing a fake earth god, right? Thinking of this, Wang Mang's eyes lit up, and then he looked at this 8-meter-tall, egg-shaped, crimson devil fetus. If he wanted to swallow this size, it would be a piece of cake. This was because Wang Mang's body was already over 260 meters tall. Swallowing this crimson devil fetus was no problem at all. Thinking of this, Wang Mang suddenly opened his bloody mouth and moved his body closer to the crimson devil fetus. The crimson devil fetus suddenly said in a bewildered voice, What are you trying to do? Hearing this, Wang Mang ignored it and kept moving closer to the crimson devil fetus. But in the next moment, the crimson devil fetus didn't know if it had foreseen that something bad would happen. It actually flew toward the sky in an instant. Seeing this scene, Wang Mang sneered in his heart. This guy wants to escape? How is that possible? In the next moment, Wang Mang flapped his 8 wings and soared into the sky. Moreover, Wang Mang was still approaching at a terrifying speed. This immediately scared the crimson devil fetus and made a frightened voice. What are you trying to do? Don't come over. Hearing this, Wang Mang ignored it. After catching up to the crimson devil fetus, Wang Mang opened his bloody mouth and swallowed it into his stomach. Originally, when Wang Mang swallowed it, he also tried to bite it, but it was too hard and couldn't be bitten, so he could only swallow it directly. In the next moment, the system's familiar voice sounded in Wang Mang's mind, frowny face ding. Congratulations, host. Devoured the crimson flame dragon race egg. Obtained 15 billion evolution points. Ding. Accumulation to meet the evolution conditions. Begin evolution. Chapter 395. After listening to the system's voice, Wang Mang was so shocked that he was speechless. He didn't think that the red demon fetus would be so valuable. One of them was no weaker than an immortal-grade heavenly treasure. Thinking of this, Wang Mang was extremely excited. It was as if he had found a way to get rich. At this moment, it was as if he could see a sea of evolution points waving at him. It must be known that the number of demon fetus was not small. Thinking up to this point, Wang Mang's heart was filled with excitement. After calming down, Wang Mang, who was about to continue searching for the demon fetus, immediately stopped. Because only now did Wang Mang remember that there was less than an hour left before the calamity. Thinking of this, Wang Mang immediately moved his huge body, flapped his 8 wings, and flew towards Wang Fu's base. 10 minutes later, Wang Mang had already arrived outside his father's base. At this moment, the outside of his father's base was still brightly lit. In addition, Wang Mang quickly found his father. he saw that his father was in the open space, and behind him were the Black Dragon Emperor, Stone Emperor, and Flower Emperor. Standing in front of his father were tens of thousands of soldiers that had already spread out. However, what surprised Wang Mang was that he didn't know where his father had gotten so many chains from, but he was actually able to chain all of these people to the iron pillars. This way, it was easy to distinguish whether they had become zombies or not, and it wouldn't cause a large-scale chaos. At the same time, following Wang Mang's appearance, Wang Fu naturally saw him and was immediately surprised. "Why are you here again?" Hearing this, Wang Mang, who had transformed into his human form, smiled brightly and said, "Isn't this because I'm afraid that there will be trouble here?" Wang Fu, who had his hands behind his back, said unhappily, "Aren't you looking down on your father too much? I've even managed a company with tens of thousands of people." Seeing his father's arrogant appearance, Wang Mang was secretly helpless, but he didn't refute. Just like that, half an hour passed while Wang Mang was chatting. Suddenly, a series of low growls could be heard. Wang Mang and Wang Fu both looked ahead. Among the tens of thousands of soldiers, some had already turned into zombies and were struggling madly. At the same time, many soldiers who didn't turn into zombies quickly untied their chains and ran towards their father. Seeing the pale-faced soldiers running over, Old Man waved his hand and gave an order. "Those who haven't turned into zombies and don't feel any discomfort, go get your weapons." Hearing this, many of the pale-faced soldiers took up their weapons and quickly lined up in a row. Not only that, as time passed, more and more soldiers turned into zombies. In just 10 minutes, more than 6,000 people had turned into zombies out of the tens of thousands of people in the open space. The remaining 5,000 people didn't turn into zombies. However, at this moment, the zombies were all tied up in chains, and they were basically unable to break free. At this time, Old Man gave another order. "All soldiers check each other. If you find any injuries or wounds caused by zombies, immediately push them out." Following Wang Mang's order, among the 5,000 soldiers that had just lined up, dozens of injured soldiers were removed from the army. After controlling these injured soldiers, Wang Fu gave an order, "All of you, aim at the target." When he saw this scene, Wang Mang immediately spoke out, "Father, there's no need." Hearing this, Wang Fu was momentarily stunned and turned to look at Wang Mang. Wang Mang grinned and said, "Dad, watch carefully." After saying this, Wang Mang instantly transformed into his huge body and rushed into the sky. Not only that, Wang Mang also descended from the sky and cast his supernatural power towards the zombies below, Sea of Destruction. In the next moment, countless zombies that were tied up in chains were instantly ignited, and the raging fire burned crazily. This horrifying scene of the Sea of Fire made Wang Fu even more stunned. At the same time, he looked at Wang Mang, who was flying freely in the sky with envy. Although Wang Mang was his son, he was still jealous. Look, more than 6,000 zombies. In the end, they were burned to ashes by a mouthful of fire. He also wanted to use such a method. Although he had some Tao techniques, compared to supernatural powers, they were still too far away. Moreover, he also had some methods, but compared to Wang Mang, they were not worth mentioning. After 10 minutes, all the zombies were burned to ashes. Wang Fu heaved a sigh of relief, and at the same time, he was grinning from ear to ear and nodded at his son in the sky. After that, Wang Fu gave an order in high spirits. "Hurry up. Those who clean up the battlefield, clean up the battlefield. Those who are eating, eat, and those who are on duty, go on duty. After dawn, wait for my orders." Seeing his father giving out orders so skillfully, Wang Mang didn't have anything to worry about. Because the zombies in the base had been cleared, the base built by his dad was much safer than the crowded city. Therefore, after saying goodbye, Wang Mang left his dad's private military base. After leaving his dad's military base, Wang Mang came to the city. But Wang Mang could already hear the horrifying roars of zombies in the sky. It was deafening. It was as if the whole world was filled with the roars of zombies at this moment. In the silent night, there were all kinds of screams. "Save me! Don't kill me! No! Don't eat me!" Why is this happening? Wife, it's me. I'll King kill you. My leg. The shrill screams. It was as if they were about to drown out the roars of the zombies. At the same time, it was like telling the world. This night, the world was like hell on earth. To tell the truth, when he saw the zombies wandering the streets, Wang Mang couldn't help but shake his head secretly. These zombies might just be the beginning. If the devil fetus appeared, it would be terrifying. These devil fetus didn't belong to this world. They were definitely not so kind to the world. Although the demon clan was indeed very powerful, so was the netherworld. But whether it was the former or the latter, they all lived on Earth, because they wouldn't watch the world be destroyed or even completely destroyed. In addition, besides the devil fetus, Wang Mang didn't know what other monsters would appear. At this moment, Wang Mang turned into a human form and stood on a truck with his hands behind his back. Suddenly, he saw a scene that made him feel incomparably strange. He saw that in the dark street, among the dense zombies, a teenager who looked only 16 or 17 years old was covered in blood. He carried a girl on his back. His thin figure was still tall and straight. He held an axe in his hand and kept hacking at the zombies that surrounded him. Every time the axe chopped down, many zombies were cut and blood splattered. He hacked and killed along the way, and at the same time, he quickly ran away. His speed was extremely fast. When he got close, the teenager ran to Wang Mang and begged for help. Please save her. Chapter 396. Hearing this, Wang Mang was very curious. This young man was so calm that he didn't seem like a young man. Moreover, this wasn't the strength that a young man should have, because there were so many zombies in the 1 kilometer street. This young man was actually able to force himself through the zombie crowd and run in front of him. Was this something that an ordinary person could do? That's impossible, all right? Just from what Wang Mang saw, this young man had killed at least hundreds of zombies. This had already broken the limits of the human body. It seemed that this young man's body had become extraordinarily strong under the baptism of the blood rain. Also, what made Wang Mang surprised was that this young man's personality and so on were completely different from what people his age should have. If it were Wang Mang, before he had the strength, he wouldn't have the courage to run through the zombie crowd. Thinking of this, Wang Mang asked with some surprise, "How do you know that I can save you?" Hearing this, the young man had already arrived under the car, where Wang Mang was standing, and calmly said, "Because I can feel that you are strong. Even these unconscious zombies are subconsciously avoiding you. There's only one possibility. Your strength is far beyond theirs. Other than that, there are basically no zombies near you. Moreover, in this situation, you dare to stand on the street so openly. There are only 2 possibilities. Either you are a fool or you are strong." Hearing this, Wang Mang was stunned for a while. He didn't expect that his analysis would be so thorough. Thinking of this, Wang Mang was in a good mood, but he still said indifferently, "I'll give you 10 minutes to rest. After 10 minutes, I will leave. As for saving you, why should I save you? I can save you once, but can I save you forever? Whether you can live or not, it all depends on you." Hearing Wang Mang's words, the blood-soaked young man was silent for a moment and nodded slightly. Then he put down the girl on his back and leaned weakly against the car, panting. At this time, Wang Mang also glanced at the girl, but couldn't help but frown slightly. This was because Wang Mang could feel that the girl had already turned into a zombie. Although the girl looked like a human, there was no trace of life in her. Wang Mang could tell a glance. But what Wang Mang didn't understand was why the girl didn't wake up and didn't even bite the boy. This was too strange. Sure enough, the world was in chaos. There were all kinds of strange things happening. Thinking of this, Wang Mang said indifferently, "She has become a zombie." Hearing those words, the resting young man shuddered and turned to look at the young lady beside him. When he sensed that the girl was no longer breathing, the youth remained silent for a long time without saying a word. 10 minutes later, the young man was still carrying the girl on his back. In the end, the young man carried the young girl and entered a building. Seeing this, Wang Mang secretly shook his head and said, "Young man, good luck." The young man happened to bump into him, and he happened to be in a good mood. Standing here for 10 minutes for the young man was something Wang Mang could do, because Wang Mang knew that there would be a lot of situations like this in the future. Sooner or later, he would have to get used to it. He couldn't save everyone he saw. In this way, Wang Mang wouldn't be able to save all the people. Just as Wang Mang was about to leave, Wang Mang inadvertently saw another scene. He saw that on another street, a group of zombies was chasing a beautiful girl. However, the beautiful girl ran very fast and easily left the zombies behind her. But the problem was that there were too many zombies, and they rushed out of the alley from time to time. Then, the girl suddenly turned into a 5-meter-long Manchurian tiger and fled at an even faster speed. Moreover, he leaped several meters high and easily reached the 3rd floor of a house with a few jumps. This is someone from the beast god space. Seeing this scene, Wang Mang was a little surprised, but he quickly recognized the other party's identity. It's worth mentioning that Wang Mang hadn't met anyone from the beast god space for a long time. This time, he was a little surprised. "Hello, handsome. Want to form a team?" At this time, the beautiful girl who was resting on the 3rd floor balcony obviously saw Wang Mang. When she saw Wang Mang standing on the street with his hands behind his back, and the surrounding zombies subconsciously avoided him, the girl was very surprised. There was no need to mention how shocked the girl was. She immediately extended an invitation to Wang Mang. In her opinion, even if Wang Mang wasn't from the beast god space, he was definitely a strong person. In such a disastrous environment, following such a strong person was obviously the safest thing to do. But what made the beautiful girl extremely angry was that the cold young man didn't pay any attention to her flirtatious eyes. Damn it, could it be that this guy doesn't like women? I'm such a big beauty, but he's not moved? The beautiful girl was very dissatisfied and couldn't help but whisper in a low voice. At this time, the beautiful young woman saw a scene that left her dumbfounded. She saw that the young man had turned into a super huge 8-winged giant python and flew toward the sky. Hey, he's the divine beast of the country. Obviously, the beautiful girl immediately recognized Wang Mang's identity and fell into a state of shock. At the same time, Wang Mang had already rushed into the sky. He was rushing toward a place covered with dark clouds. The direction of the red light was in the wilderness of the province. When Wang Mang arrived at the forest, he saw a scene that made him shocked. In a towering, primitive forest in front of him, a half-immortal level treasure of heaven and earth was going through the tribulation. The sky within a radius of dozens of miles was covered with dark clouds and thunder. The scene was very grand. At that moment, Wang Mang's eyes were fixed on the half-immortal level human-shaped ginseng undergoing its tribulation in the sky. At the same time, Wang Mang's heart was also very heavy. If it wasn't for the sudden muffled thunder, Wang Mang also rushed here as soon as possible. He probably forgot that these half-immortal level treasures of heaven and earth could also turn into an earth immortal. Just as Wang Mang's heart was heavy, the lightning tribulation had already begun. This was the lightning tribulation of the earth immortal level treasure of heaven and earth. It was not weaker than the tribulation of those powerhouses. Wang Mang, who was watching the half-immortal level ginseng go through the tribulation, couldn't help but feel a sense of urgency. It seemed that the whole world was the stage of the earth immortal powerhouses. I have to break through to the earth immortal level as soon as possible. At this moment, Wang Mang thought anxiously in his heart. What made Wang Mang even more depressed was that he never expected. There was actually a half-immortal level treasure of heaven and earth in his province. What made Wang Mang even more helpless was that he didn't notice it before. These half-immortal level treasures of heaven and earth were simply too good at hiding. Chapter 397. From Wang Mang's point of view, if there were half-immortal level treasures of heaven and earth in the province, then the other provinces would definitely have hidden half-immortal level treasures of heaven and earth. After all, it was normal for the other provinces to have half-immortal level treasures of heaven and earth that even Wang Mang couldn't find. But if that was the case, the global powerhouse list would probably change a lot in the near future. Thinking of this, Wang Mang sighed in his heart, and at the same time, he was even more eager to improve his strength. He had to improve his strength as soon as possible. Otherwise, once the half-immortal level treasures of heaven and earth on earth transcended tribulation and became earth immortals. At that time, his strength and even the global powerhouse ranking would be greatly impacted. Don't forget, apart from the half-immortal level treasures of heaven and earth, who knows how many devil fetuses there were on earth. At the same time, Wang Mang also saw the half-immortal level treasure of heaven and earth with his own eyes. It went through a total of 81 lightning tribulations and lasted for a few hours before it ended. When the lightning tribulation in the sky dissipated, Wang Mang couldn't help but sigh in his heart. From now on, there would be another earth immortal in this world. Seeing the white-haired youth standing proudly in the sky, Wang Mang sighed inwardly. Perhaps it was because of the unique treasures of heaven and earth that this guy's lightning tribulation was indescribably strange. In short, this lightning tribulation seemed to be all bark and no bite. In Wang Mang's opinion, it was very likely that this half-immortal level treasure of heaven and earth had accumulated too much. Therefore, when he forcefully tried to become an earth immortal, the tribulation was just for show, and he successfully transcended the tribulation and became an earth immortal. Especially when he felt the terrifying aura of an earth immortal expert from this white-haired youth, Wang Mang felt even more sad. Damn it, I have to become an earth immortal as soon as possible. After being around for so long, I can't even compare to a half-immortal level treasure of heaven and earth. If the white-haired youth knew what Wang Mang was thinking, he would definitely curse Wang Mang, because the white-haired youth was indeed a half-immortal level treasure of heaven and earth. However, he had spent 10,000 years to achieve what he had today. Before he transcended the tribulation, he was already a half-immortal grade treasure of heaven and earth from the year 8999. It could be said that he had experienced countless big and small dangers to reach where he was today. But what about Wang Mang? It had barely been a year since his rebirth. But in the past year, Wang Mang had transformed from a tiny python to a pseudo-land immortal. If one really wanted to talk about who could level up the fastest, there were probably not many people on Earth who could compare with Wang Mang. The speed of cultivation and leveling up was as simple as eating and drinking. At this moment, the white-haired youth had already successfully transcended the tribulation. Naturally, he also saw Wang Mang. However, the white-haired youth didn't care anymore. In the past, when he met an expert like Wang Mang, he would definitely avoid him. But now, he had successfully transcended the tribulation and became an earth immortal. The threat that Wang Mang gave him was not as strong as before. It was just a little threatening. Because of that, the white-haired youth turned around and landed in front of Wang Mang while wearing a white gown. He lightly smiled and said, "Greetings, fellow Taoist." Seeing this, Wang Mang didn't dare to be arrogant. He quickly nodded with a smile and said, "Greetings, Lord White Ginseng." White Ginseng smiled and said, "You don't have to be so polite, fellow Taoist. You're just a step away from becoming an earth immortal. Just call me fellow Taoist." Of course, White Ginseng could tell that Wang Mang was just a step away from becoming an earth immortal. Therefore, he was naturally very enthusiastic about Wang Mang. Besides, although he had become an earth immortal, he still had some understanding of Wang Mang. After all, Wang Mang was the ruling monster king of Guizhou province. Naturally, he knew a lot about Wang Mang that others didn't. For example, Wang Mang's cultivation speed was extremely fast, and he didn't know how many half-immortal grade heavenly treasures he had eaten. Because of this, when Wang Mang was in Guizhou province, he kept a low profile and hid in the depths of the earth. At that time, White Ginseng was also trembling in fear when facing Wang Mang, who had eaten a lot of half-immortal heavenly treasures. Seeing that white ginseng was not hostile to him, Wang Mang secretly heaved a sigh of relief. Then, he chatted with white ginseng for a while before leaving. That was because white ginseng had transcended the tribulation too smoothly, and his strength was at its peak. If white ginseng was in the same state as Xiangyu, Wang Mang would have other thoughts. However, the problem was that white ginseng had transcended the tribulation too easily. In addition, the spiritual qi around him had also transformed into a vast amount of immortal qi. Moreover, white ginseng gave him a very strong sense of threat. Because of this, Wang Mang did not dare to have any other thoughts. All right, at least for now, Wang Mang did not dare to have other thoughts. However, if he broke through to the Earth Immortal realm, Wang Mang would not be worried. That was because a fake Earth Immortal was still a fake Earth Immortal. There was a huge gap between him and a real Earth Immortal. When he parted ways with white ginseng, the sky had already turned bright. Therefore, Wang Mang found a cave in a mountain forest near a city in Guizhou province and went into it. He was going to organize his strength and make a breakthrough to the Earth Immortal realm. That was because, in Wang Mang's opinion, his current accumulation of strength was enough for him to make a breakthrough to the Earth Immortal realm. However, in the early morning, it was the critical moment of the disaster. Wang Mang did not have time to organize his gains and improve his strength. However, it was different now. Now, Wang Mang was worried that the strength ranking would suffer too much impact. Therefore, it was imperative for him to make a breakthrough. After entering the cave, Wang Mang sized up the cave. It was very well hidden. When he thought of this, Wang Mang silently said in his heart, "System, open my personal information." In the next moment, his personal information appeared before his eyes. Host, Wang Mang identity, 5 mountain god type, 8-winged, 3-headed python cultivation, 8,800 years, peak demon emperor, body, 264 meters long, 14 meters wide, 15 million kilograms weight, 15 million kilograms bite force, 160 kilometers per hour. Divine ability, King's slavery, soul controlling seal, broken body rebirth, destructive laser beam, destructive sea of flames, everlasting frost, heaven flight, earth burrowing, wishful bone spur, thunder spell, one step in the world, myriad of changes space. Information detection, immortal tablet X1, random expert summoning card X1, free chance to upgrade divine ability X1, skill fusion card X1, divine ability lucky draw X1, silver treasure chest X1, gold treasure chest X1, diamond treasure chest X2, mesmerizing incense X1. Shop, activated luck, 299, flood of fortune, evolution points, 87. 5 billion/60 billion current ranking, refreshing statistics. You're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.